Hello and welcome to the morning news here on Newday on TV3. My name is Beatrice Sedu. Coming up in the next few minutes. Supreme Court to give judgment on the application by MP for Pandai Matthew Nyendam to quash the decision of the Tamale High Court to annul the election results. Also on the program, Minister of Energy and Green Transition John Jinapor says additional power would be procured this year in order to address projected supply deficit in the coming years. And much later on the program, Media Foundation for West Africa demands legal action and investigation into military assault on Media General's Northeast Region correspondent Solomon Kanawule. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. My name is Beatrice Sedu. Now, the Supreme Court will this morning give its judgment on the application by the Member of Parliament for Pandai, Matthew Nyendam, to quash the decision of the Tamale High Court that annulled the 2024 parliamentary election result for the Pandai constituency in the northern region. NDC parliamentary candidate for Pandai, Daniel Insala Wapal, filed an election petition which resulted in the annulment of Nyendam's election. Lawyers of Nyendam then escalated the matter to the Apex Court, arguing that the High Court judge lacked jurisdiction and the petition was filed after the 21-day mandatory period. On Tuesday, January 13, the lawyers prayed the Supreme Court to overturn the Tamale High Court's decision on grounds that the NDC Pandai parliamentary candidate filed his petition on January 25, 2026, after the 21-day mandatory period. Now, he could enjoy the perks of diplomacy, but Baba Jamal says he is ready to answer the call to represent Ayawaso East in Parliament, a role he admits comes with far fewer material benefits than his current position as High Commissioner. My colleague Noble Crosbyanan sat with him and after he filed his nomination form, came through with this report for us later.
Campaigning is intensifying in the Ayawaso East constituency ahead of the upcoming by-election on March 3. One familiar face in the race is Baba Jamal, who narrowly lost to the 8 MP Ahmed Nasser Toure in the party's 2023 primaries. Currently Ghana's High Commissioner to Nigeria, Baba Jamal says he is ready to give up the perks of his diplomatic post to serve as a Member of Parliament, driven by a strong sense of duty and commitment to his constituency.
All those who are asking me, why are you leaving Nigeria to come to East Ayawaso? Anybody who is talking like that is because his mind is on material things. Are we motivated by only material things? If I look at my conditions in Nigeria, what I get in Nigeria as a High Commissioner, representing the president there, it is 3 times what I will receive as MP. But I have chosen to come and serve my people.
Baba Jamal is confident of victory, citing years of service and engagement in the constituency. He adds that if he is not successful in securing the seat, he is willing to return to his role as High Commissioner while continuing to support the constituency in every way he can.
I'm not the first person to contest as a high commission. You don't need to resign. All what you need to do is to ask for leave. Oh, of course, why not? As long as I have been appointed there as the high commission, I will resume. Do you understand? But whatever happens, I will serve my community in my smaller. I think that if they give me the opportunity, it will give me a bigger platform to be able to serve them better.
He maintains that he stands tall among the candidates, including his closest rival, Hajia Amina Adam, the widow of the late MP.
Hajia, I hesitate to talk about her because anytime her matter comes up, it will force me to resurrect the dead. And as a Muslim, I don't really want to go. Tell me one project that the husband has done that is a legacy she's coming to continue. One, only one.
And still saying with elections, 3 eminent Ghanaians are at the Supreme Court to challenge the constitutionality of the delegate-based systems used by Ghana's major political parties to elect their presidential and parliamentary candidate. Lord Adwasari, in this explainer, examines what the trio, Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, and Dr. Christine Amwakuniama are seeking from the Apex Court.
The plaintiffs are seeking constitutional orders against the New Patriotic Party, the National Democratic Congress, and the Convention People's Party, arguing that at present, the party's internal electoral arrangements disenfranchise ordinary party members and hence violate the democratic principles entrenched in the 1992 Constitution. Ghana's major political parties practice a delegate system where specified office holders and functionaries of the party, including members of the National Council, National Executive Committee, Regional Executive Committee, Constituency Executive Committees, Electoral Area Coordinators, Polling Station Executives, the National Council of Elders, Members of Parliament, past national officers, representatives of special organs, selected external branch delegates, founding members, patrons, recognized TESCON representatives, and ministers, as well as their deputy ministers, are the only ones entitled to vote for presidential and parliamentary candidates. Now, in their statement of case, the plaintiffs argue that the system violates not only Article 55(5), but also other constitutional provisions guaranteeing political equality, participation, and the right to vote, including Articles 1, 17, 35(6)(d), and 42 of the Constitution. They also note that Ghana's Constitution recognizes political parties as institutions through which democratic representation is organized, not private associations or clubs. They therefore argue that processes which parties employ to select presidential and parliamentary representatives must comply with democratic standards. The suit also lists the Attorney General and the Electoral Commission as defendants, with the plaintiffs intimating that the EC has failed in its constitutional and statutory duty to, as it were, ensure that the internal organization of political parties conforms to democratic principles as required under Article 55(5) of the Constitution and Section 9A of the Political Parties Act 2000 Act 574. The three plaintiffs are therefore praying that the Supreme Court, The three plaintiffs are therefore praying the Supreme Court to declare the delegate systems as unconstitutional and to strike out the relevant provisions in the constitutions and electoral rules of the NPP, NDC, and CPP. They are therefore seeking consequential orders directing the parties to amend their constitution to adopt candidate selection procedures that ensure equal, direct, and meaningful participation of members. They also want the court to order the Electoral Commission to get the parties to comply with Article 55(5) and the Political Parties Act in the supervision and regulation of internal party elections. Lord Adwasari, TV3 News, Accra.
Some other news here, and the Minister of Energy and Green Transition, John Jinapor, says additional power would be procured this year in order to address projected 2026 to 2028 supply deficit and match rising electricity consumption. He says consumption of electricity has increased due to the improvement of the economy. He was speaking when the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane-Opoku-Agyeman, paid a working visit to the ministry.
The meeting discussed challenges and progress in the energy sector. Hydropower, according to the Energy and Green Transition Minister John Jinapor, has declined to 28%, necessitating proactive measures to avoid a 290 to 420 megawatt deficit by 2026 and beyond.
2026, if nothing is done, we're going to have a deficit of 294. 2027, 658. 2028, 1,470. Because of the way the economy is picking up, there's a lot of increased consumption when it comes to electricity. And so we must match that pace. And to do so, we must be very innovative. So we are coming up with either competitive tendering, or we use VRA as a front so that we can have cheaper power for the people of Ghana.
He said his outfit would construct a second gas processing plant using indigenous gas, noting a $2 billion agreement between Jubilee partners and government will reduce gas prices and increase production.
By the end of the month, myself and the finance minister, we should be signing a cabinet memo so we can commence the construction of a second gas processing plant. We've also signed a $2 billion agreement with the Jubilee partners. Cabinet has approved it. We've already taken it to Parliament. It will reduce our gas price from $3.1 to $2.5. It will increase gas consumption by another 70 mm-scarf, and it will also increase crude oil production. And so for me, this is a game changer.
Vice President Professor Nana Jane-Opoku-Agyeman said she is proud of the minister and his team for saving Ghanaians from experiencing power cuts.
The interventions have really created the enabling results we're looking for. We had huge debts. We were threatened with power cuts even before we took over. And it wasn't an amusing situation at all. And this is a time for us to commend our president for listening, for supporting, for being very, very positive, and for going along with the suggestions.
The Vice President also visited the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. Here, the Sector Minister Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa said a number of reforms have been taken and are still being taken to ensure green forests and blue water bodies.
I have never shied away with the institutions that are responsible. I told the EPA, I told the Minerals Commission, they are part of the problem. And so we began to basically look at even the licenses, how licenses are issued. I'm happy that we've been able to look at the review of our licenses. As we speak, small-scale licenses over 255 or so has been revoked. We continue to review the processes, and those who have not followed the right channels, we give them the opportunity to correct the processes.
The Vice President said it was difficult to imagine the level of devastation caused to the environment.
We have no doubt that you are up to the task. So our job is to encourage you, to congratulate you for what you've done so far, and to encourage you even to do more, and to let you know that we trust what you are doing, to assure you that we have your back. We are there to support you every step of the way. It is not only a moral imperative. We're talking about our survival.
The Vice President's visit to the two ministries forms part of an ongoing tour of government ministries to obtain first-hand information and encourage them to do more.
Now, a tour of some transport corridors has shown that there are still queues and insufficient buses to transport people, weeks after the Vice President initiated action to get the challenge resolved. Drivers have blamed heavy traffic congestions and the increasing use of private vehicles for the prolonged crises.
As of 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, January 27th, when I arrived at the Madina Zongo Junction in Accra, there were scores of people still waiting for the next available vehicle with little chance of finding space, as most arriving vehicles were already almost fully loaded. By almost 10 o'clock a.m., corporate and informal sector workers were braving the scorching sun, already late for work. A stranded worker says the consequences of arriving late could be far-reaching.
I'm going to work, and even if I'm able to get car now, I'm still going to join traffic again.
How productive are you when you get to work?
Oh, you can't do nothing, you know. The time is already gone. And second, you have to do extra work. And sometimes if you are not lucky, you'll be sacked because no one is waiting for you to come and, you know, you are working as someone, you need to be on time.
At the main station, there were enough vehicles, although people still ended up in queues several times.
And even some
At the main station, there were enough vehicles, although people still ended.
The money drivers pay each time they pick passengers at the station, forces many to operate outside.
Cars be bro, hunter, then a time be a cars need to be shorty.
Hey, cars in there, cars in also, but I'm up on so to
We experience shortage of cars, mostly due to traffic congestion.
Cars in the corner, on the traffic, more, a bit of a no, be do ano.
I didn't know more ambijina kwa hono. Among station because station cars be bro.
The stations do not have cars moving to all destinations. Some get theirs by the roadside.
When you talk to the drivers, some are saying that the traffic congestion is to blame for the long queues we see at the terminals, also because the cars do not get to move rapidly as they should, and so you'd always get to see people standing here like this. And another thing is that people who would have otherwise parked their private cars to come to join Trotros are now driving, also because the fuel prices have dropped.
We want to see better. We want to see a Ghana resetting through Metro Mass.
2 weeks ago, the Vice President engaged the transport and local government ministers and also toured the Metro Mass and Ayalolo Yard to find solutions to the situation. But no significant outcomes have been seen yet, despite a campaign to invest in the railway sector. I'm not a driver of this vehicle and I don't intend to move it to the destination. This vehicle is moving all the way to Agboba and Ashoma and adjoining areas. But you realize that at the La Paz station, there are a lot of vehicles here, and the usual queues that you would come to meet early mornings at the rush hour are not here as of now. But still, the conversation for many of these drivers has been about how much they pay into servicing these vehicles. Christian Yale, TV3 News, La Paz.
Now, to that unfortunate incident, and the Media Foundation for West Africa has condemned the assault on Media General's Northeast Regional Correspondent Solomon Kwame Kanawule during coverage of a military exercise in that region. The foundation says attacks on journalists undermine press freedom and accountability.
Solomon Kanawule, Media General's correspondent in the Northeast region, says the incident occurred on Monday afternoon after he had returned from a community interview. He explains that he had parked his motorbike near a shop when he was confronted by men he later identified as military personnel.
On my return, his call came asking me to come to the station. So all I know was I was going to pick up the goods. So when I got there, he told me that military men came around and they were just beating people. There were some 207 cars. They used knives and then they destroyed the tires. I said, oh, did they tell them why they were doing that? And they said no. So I said, okay, then let me find out. So I rode and parked by the roadside. The moment I parked, about 3 steps away from my motor to the shop, then they arrived there and asked, whose motorbike is this? though the other motorbike parked. I said, oh, before I could open my mouth to say, it is mine, then they strike it on my back.
Solomon says he was later intercepted again, taken to a location outside the town and questioned. He confirms that his phone was seized and searched before it was returned to him hours later. He adds that checks with the district police commander, the regional minister and the member of parliament indicated they were not aware of any military operation in the area at the time.
He operated my phone for several hours. He went through my private chats and almost everything I have on the phone.
The Media Foundation for West Africa has condemned the assault and called for investigations. Dora Mauto is the Director for Freedom of Expression and Digital Rights at the Media Foundation for West Africa.
There's need to increasingly seek legal redress for some of these unfortunate incidents, because if it's just public condemnation and then it ends there, we've seen that in the past, we haven't really had much result. Let's also go through the legal means, do litigation, and ensure that we get justice for abused journalists. Media General should not let this case be one of those others that have gone unredressed. To the military command, I would say this is an opportunity for them to let Ghanaians know that they don't approve unprofessionalism.
The Member of Parliament for Wale Wale, Dr. Abdul Kabiru Tia Mahama, has in a statement called on the Acting Minister for Defence to urgently investigate the incident and ensure the perpetrators are brought to justice. Between 2019 and 2023, the Ghana Journalists Association (GJA) documented a total of 45 cases of assaults and attacks against journalists and media institutions. According to Ghana Journalists Association (GJA), 13 attacks on journalists were recorded across the country between January and October 2025. Stakeholders say strengthening communication and engagement between journalists and security agencies will be key to preventing similar incidents in the future.
And that's all for the morning news here on Newday on TV3. My name is Beatrice Edu. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Do stay with us on Newday.
And Manoji is always a good one. You know, Angelique Kidjo is from Benin, and I show speed, went to Benin.
Yeah, but, do you know who that is now?
And I saw Kente inside there.
Wait. Do you know who that is now? Last week, I compared me why Beatrice. Do you know who I show speed is? Or who is she?
I always watch that guy with Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes.
So I always watch his stuff, but I didn't know that he was that popular.
Idol.
I didn't know that he was that popular.
That's
until when he entered Nigeria, and all the fuss was about they asking him money and all that. And as a result of that, he abruptly decided to leave.
Yeah.
So I didn't know he was that popular.
Charlie, the people are
because I always thought my top YouTuber was always going to be Woody Maya, but the guy. In real time, and the numbers he keeps getting, Charlie, the guy is just fantastic.
I mean, last night,
and you know what he did, showcasing Africa, but particularly Ghana. It's only 2 times in my life that I've seen audiovisual representation. Okay. So during the Kufuor administration, they said Ghana was a gateway to West Africa. So they went to America. Decided to bring in one of the top broadcasters at the time, either with the CNBC or NBC or so. They did a whole feature and had some of my friends like camera guys who filmed it. So that time there were no drones, etc. So if you wanted to film aerial shots, you have to use the helicopters. So we had a couple of our friends, Pasa and the rest. So they took aerial views of our vegetative cover and the president was in at the time, exhibiting Ghana culture, everything, and it was so beautiful. This is the time that this one, in real time, settings and props are made. You move from one location to the other in real time.
Technology.
And you can't get it better than real-time presentation. It makes it even more credible and believable. This is the best showcase we can ever have.
Last night around 8 p.m., some of my colleagues at the back, they were just checking the videos and were like, over 50 million views already. And I mean, it was just amazing.
It's got a lot of views. So you know who that is now, right? You know who that is now. Last week,
I showed speed. Well, all of you, welcome to the show. Let me say good morning to some of my best pals and friends. Chairman Prosper, good morning to you. Chairman Godwin Tamaklo, the Group Chief Executive for the RAID Group. And then all those who work with the World Human Rescue and Advocacy Organization. I know that you have a great launch coming up in Ho Prisons on Monday. And so let me say good morning to Michael Asari, Executive Director, and the Deputy Executive Director as well, Philippine Godot, and Advocacy Lead, also Delight Mojaka, all of you. We'll be at the Ho Prisons on Monday to be able to welcome all of you. But it's a great time to always be here. It's midweek. You know, that's when we make the decision whether we'll come tomorrow or won't come tomorrow, or we'll be sick or won't be sick.
Because sometimes you have a choice.
No, because it gets stressful. It gets stressful, especially when you stay late.
Can we take a minute to talk about morning show host and what we go through? Can we take a minute?
Because
to talk about
it gets stressful when you, let's say, you stayed up late to follow up. Because yesterday I watched you, for example, and you had to follow up through what was happening based on the subject you've been discussing this morning, and you have to stay up late, yet you have to wake up early.
That's why.
And apart from that, you don't get good money for the job.
You understand? And that's why we end up with puffy eyes all the time. Like my under eye is always swollen. And I realized that over the years, it's getting worse. Because like my face used to be very beautiful, you know, no bags under my eyes and all of that. And increasingly, it's just getting worse and worse. And I don't want to start, you know, injecting under my eye.
I mean, one Saturday morning, I woke up and then there was so much puffiness. I was like, this thing.
And yes, small.
I don't
Especially
like
you, as a new entrant, we've been overusing you, abusing you. But to be real, you need to make the sacrifice. So
yes, everybody must pay their dues here on a new day. I've been here. I've been here going into 6 years now.
Wow.
Rolly, you've done like 3 years already on the morning show, right?
4.
4 already.
Yeah, that's my
4
4th
already.
year.
It's your 4th year.
Back to back, like
it's
but it's okay. I've always done morning programming, so it's a good
about 3 days ago, and you know, you never get used to it, right? You never get used to waking up the time that you're supposed to wake up. And once you start waking up at 3 o'clock, even on weekends, your body will still wake up at 3 o'clock.
One Saturday, I woke up, the alarm blew, and I was like, hey, it's 5 o'clock, I'm late.
But apart from that, have you also experienced an instance where you forgot to set your alarm? Yet, no, wait.
You wake up.
So we have 2 instances. You forgot to set your alarm, yet you wake up even before the time you're
I was going to say before.
Because consciously, because you knew that you didn't set the alarm, you wake up. If it's 2 a.m. or it's 1 a.m., you never get to sleep.
You know where the trick is? You wake up before the alarm. What be tight to you when you say, oh, time on swing until let me stretch for 20 minutes?
I'm not asked for that one. You wake up like 7 a.m.
Well, so for all those who tend to they till the land or tend to work overnight, so the security forces, those in health, the nurses, etc., those who work in technical services like power, water generators and all that, we say that we're grateful. The nurses, the doctors, the security people.
It's not.
I mean, people like, and then also the technical people. So, for example, Chairman Godwin Tamaklo, people will have to work overnight. You know, people because they are into mainstream oil transportation. So people will have to work overnight. And you're sleeping as a shareholder. You never know whether your driver is going to get.
I know, right?
Yeah, to the destination safely. And sometimes. It's never easy to work overnight.
I mean,
so 24-hour economy people, Charlie.
Yeah,
they are really trying.
I adore so much when I'm driving in the night, the police. After 11, you see them in their jackets, and sometimes they are standing there checking every car. And I'm always very grateful when I see them that as you're driving home, at least their presence alone assures you that
of your safety.
Something good is on the road.
All right. What do we have? What do we have this morning?
A whole lot.
Our guy was beating, so we're still advocating for that. Oh, no, it's not a laughing matter.
No, they didn't try for us. They didn't try for us at all.
So the GJ will be having a press conference. Have we had a response from the military?
I haven't heard anything.
I haven't seen that yet. Yeah. I started looking out for
no response from the military.
Around midday yesterday. I didn't see anything. And as of this morning, I haven't heard anything yet. But at least we've had the Media Foundation for West Africa condemning it. But really, it's a very serious issue because I've witnessed it myself. I mean, I wasn't beaten, but I was almost beaten. Where there was this demolition around the Kaswa area. I think subsequently somebody was shot dead by the military.
I think I remember something like that.
They just sent the soldiers there to ensure that they demolished the buildings there because they felt the person had built on the land illegally. And I remember going there, I got out of my car, I mean, I went with the official car, and then I started filming from afar. And the soldiers were fully armed. I mean, when I say fully armed, they had everything, exactly. And then as I got closer, they were looking at me and said, hey, you, what did you record? Bring the phone. And I mean, it was so, I've seen that. And I remember the fear and the trauma that thing came with. I don't think that it's okay to have really soldiers doing that. There needs to be that kind of, training, whatever it is, orientation that they need to be able to deal with that because it's not cool at all. I wasn't beaten, but that warning and that, threat alone was enough to put some sort of a fear in me, let alone to see somebody.
I'm sure it traumatized you.
Exactly, it did traumatize me. And to see somebody beaten to that extent, I mean, that's unacceptable.
Well, there's a presser that Media General has released. We're going to read it because this is for us, and we are doing this for us and for all other journalists here in the country and, of course, across Africa. And Media General condemns brutal assault on Northeast Regional correspondent. Media General has received with deep concern reports of the brutal assault of its Northeast Regional correspondent, Mr. Solomon Kwame Kanaluwe, by military personnel in Wale Wale on January 26, 2026. Media General strongly condemns this act of violence against a journalist who was going about his daily activities without filming any military exercise. The unwarranted assault represents a serious abuse of power and a violation of the fundamental rights guaranteed under the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. We therefore call on the Military High Command and the IGP to urgently and thoroughly investigate this incident and ensure that all personnel found culpable are identified and appropriately sanctioned in accordance with military and national laws. Further, Media General is petitioning the Ministry of Defense to take decisive action to address what appears to be a growing pattern of military brutality against innocent civilians, including journalists, during internal security operations. The use of excessive force against unarmed citizens is unacceptable and must not be allowed to persist. Media General reiterates its commitment to responsible journalism, the rule of law, and the safety of media practitioners. We will continue to pursue all lawful avenues to ensure accountability and to safeguard the rights and welfare of our journalists across the country. Journalism is not a crime, and no journalist should be subjected to violence, intimidation, or abuse in the course of duty. And this was signed by our able-bodied management here at Media General. Let's take a look also at that presser by the
Media Foundation for West Africa.
Media Foundation, yes, it was an information from the Media Foundation speaking against the violence.
There's need to increasingly seek legal redress for some of these unfortunate incidents, because if it's just public condemnation and then it ends there, we've seen that in the past, we haven't really had much result. Let's also go through the legal means, do litigation, and ensure that we get justice for abused journalists. Media General should not let this case be one of those others that have gone unredressed. To the military command, I would say this is an opportunity for them to let Ghanaians know that they don't approve unprofessionalism.
And because we've been hot here, defending what we do and, of course, asking for our safety, we have not been cashing out. But this morning, we have not been cashing out because we've been very hot from yesterday. But yeah, you can cash out with a *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. You can get to win 1,000 Ghana cedis this morning. *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. But like we promised, did I say Sunday? Friday will be the big one. What's Friday's date again? Because today is 28th, tomorrow is 29th. Of course. So we are dishing out heavy money here to close the month of January. But it looks like this January has come very fast.
But this week I used to look across.
Oh, this week? No. This week has not been slow for me. It's been very fast for me. So please cash out with us, *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber.
Fantastic.
Anyway, welcome to this morning. A few things we've tabled for discussion for the big issue later on, of course, this morning. 3 days to the NPP
just 3 days.
primaries, just 3 days. And now Info Analytics is telling us that Dr. Baumia, followed by Kennedy Ejepon, are the possible people who will be emerging.
But we also have Dr. Evans Dria, who also says that Kennedy is the one leading, and then Dr. Mahmoud Baumia is the second.
Second.
So,
well,
and then, El Bernard. Prophet El Bernard also is prophesying.
By 7 p.m., kwata, as Ghanaman will say. Kwata, Ghanaman time, 7 o'clock. Right. We go know what
your election command center will be having a live coverage that day. So make sure you stick and stay. Saturday, we're here with you till evening, right?
Yeah, till we're done.
By 7, dear. Now we.
So Beatrice.
By the time the news hits, yes, we'll know exactly what is happening. And the second topic for today, I'm sure there will be time for that. Cabinet approving the revocation of state lands without process audits.
Because the latest from UTAG is that they want the GTEC boss removed. The
GTEC, I also heard that.
Yes, has been going around looking at people's PhDs.
Yes, I know, right?
And professorship.
And revoking them and all of that.
So we'll substitute that with that, and then we'll get to see all that. But in the meantime, what do you make of the criticism of and then also the brutality that has been meted out to the journalists who is corresponding for Solomon, by the military. So what do you make of it as well? We still expect a statement, and then also the position of the Ghana Armed Forces on the subject as well. Is the birthday of a former member of parliament of Kwesi Mintim, used to be a Fia Kwesi Mintim, Joe Bidwansa. You were also a deputy minister of trade, I remember at the time. Great man. Happy birthday to you. Wishing you all the best for the year as well. Joe Bidwansa, the Honorable Joe Bidwansa, former member of parliament, Kwesi Mintim, or Ifya Kwesi Mintim, because it used to be Ifya Kwesi Mintim, then there was a split. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send us messages.
Tete, right?
Yes,
Sorry?
Freeman Tete, you know him?
No.
The daughter is celebrating birthday.
Yeah, the daughter is celebrating the birthday, so happy birthday to the daughter.
Okay.
Emily Freeman Tete, happy birthday to you. Yes.
Send us messages.
You're supposed to go to the train station today.
Today. Is that still happening? Is that still happening?
Yeah. You don't want to go?
Well,
the producer has assigned you. You
well,
should go.
we'll know. We'll know.
We're waiting for
in
you to give
minutes.
us a train content. Please join the conversation. The phone lines are open.
I like the silence and the conclusion of the matter. But a number of you are already sending in your messages, and of course, we read them to you as we go along this.
Anyway, welcome to This Morning.
Yes.
And our first caller is already on the line, Sani from Wale Wale. Good morning to you, Sani. Hello, Sani, can you hear us?
Okay, thank God. Wale Wale, we are also peaceful. The town is very, very peaceful. And I want to sympathize with your colleague Solomon. In fact, I know him. When he was posted to Wale Wale by Media General, I was the one who helped him to get accommodation in that area.
Oh, wow.
So, yes. So, to see him being subjected to that kind of, dastardly beaten by the police, the soldiers, is unfortunate. So, I also want to join cause that, in fact, the matter be investigated so that those soldiers who perpetrated that heinous crime will be made to face the full rigors of the law. But I also want to say that, though very regrettable, God just wants to use Solomon's case, in fact, to expose, the kind of beatings that we, the residents of Wale Wale, have been subjected to by the military, since last year, February. Okay, they beat us at no provocation at all. So if you listen to his narration, he said that he heard that they were beating people, so he wanted to find out why they were beating them. So my question is, why were they beating the people of Wale Wale? Nothing. They just had remorse that, we are coming to park our cars on the road. So because of that, somebody authorized the ministry from border to come and beat us. That was the whole situation about, which is not true. Because we are law-abiding. I was sitting by the roadside. We don't do these things, you understand? Sometimes I don't understand who misinformed the president, the government that we voted for. For President Mahama, he has 25,000 votes in Wale Wale. That is not a small vote. But it's like he's being misled that, we are violent people, so any time they come and beat us. Why? It's not good at all. Is it that they don't want us to be part of NDC anymore? Even Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, who is our brother, we didn't vote for him, because he doesn't belong to our party. NDC is our party. So that's why they have about 25,000 votes in Wale Wale. But when you go to Bwale, where John Muhammad is, Dr. Bawumia had 4,000 votes there. Do you understand? So we, the people of Wale Wale, we don't vote based on tribal lines and all that. So they should try and make sure that we're also part of the government. We're also part of the power. But what they're doing to us is not good at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Sani for calling us. You can also call us to let us know what your thoughts are. Rolly, I think, no, Rolly should pick this call. Master Planner.
Master Planner Junior.
Fantastic, Paparu.
How are you?
We're so fantastic.
Lafia, lo yegida.
Hi. Good morning to you. How are you? Master Planner, how are you this morning?
The cash woman.
I know pay to say.
Amenadum. Ibiashi, me give you some more.
Yeah, home, yeah. Campaign, no question.
Oh, so far so good. I think yesterday Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia completed his campaign in Asante region. So all the 270 states constituencies we've touched there.
Okay.
I think the feedback is so positive.
Okay.
I believe MPP delegates, they don't make mistakes. In 2024, yes, we went for election and we lost. Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia with 41.75%. It doesn't mean we have to put him aside and bring another candidate. So I urge all MPP delegates on Saturday, 31st January 2026, please vote for Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, number 3 on the ballot paper. All the propaganda and the misuse the NDC did in 2024 is a tale of the past.
And Master Planner, you won't talk about our journalist that has been beaten. That is same cranny.
But in your initial topics, I saw that one. You were talking about Musa Dankwa and stuff. Oh, that one is not part of the topic.
Go ahead.
So MPP delegates, please vote for Dr. Bawumia if we really want to come back to power in 2029, because he is our surest bet. If we vote against Dr. Bawumia, it means probably the party will stay in opposition for more than 16 years. Because 2028, NDC, all the candidates they are lining, no one can match Dr. Bawumia. And I can say that for a fact. Apart from President Mahama, who is currently popular in Ghana, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is the next person in terms of presidential expertise and stuff. So MPP delegates, let's vote for Dr. Bawumia. And then the journalism attack, I think, is becoming one too many. What happened recently is very, very bad. And I know the current DJ president is so passionate about this. And I know he works to fix things out. God bless you, Kutiki.
God bless you too, Master Planner. Beatrice.
Yeah. We have another caller on the line. Yeah. Yes, Isaac, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on this morning's segment. Tell us what you think about what we're talking about today. Hello, Isaac.
Yes, madam.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for
joining us.
Good morning,
madam.
Yes.
My name is... madam, my problem is... Yes, hello, madam. I'm online.
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes. Hello.
Please turn down the volume on your set so that we can hear you and you can also concentrate. Okay, we're having a challenge with the line to Isaac, but okay, I think that we've lost him on the line there. But I wanted to disagree, though, with Sani. He seemed to have linked the attack to MPP NDC thing, that they are all part of the government, so they shouldn't be beating them because they are MPP and stuff. I think yesterday we spoke to the MP and he equally condemned it. This is, and his problem was that it looks like the military is already prejudiced in the sense that they think everybody they see is a criminal. And so if they had taken the time to at least speak to the journalist to find out who he was and what he was there for, it wouldn't have led to that beating. So let's not once again, as we normally do, politicize some of these things. But a number of you have sent your messages. Let me just read perhaps 2 or 3. Good morning, Beatrice, Cookie, and Roland. I want to appreciate you people and the rest of your colleagues for all the sacrifices you've been making just to keep us abreast and updated with current issues. It is therefore unacceptable for you to go through such disgusting abuse. Not in this country of freedom of speech. The defense minister and the military command should immediately step in and find justice for all the abused persons. It should not be the usual condemnation, and after that, it is over. And that's coming from Simon Yen Inwa. I'll read this one from Fafaki Wa. He says, this is coming, okay, I just mentioned your name. My greetings goes to Alhaji Al-Hassan, his wife, and at this inhumane, barbaric, uncouth, and beastly behavior of the military towards civilians must stop. And perhaps this last one from Stephen Payne, who says, good morning, Beatrice. Early on, Cookie read a message on your morning show, and I think the author of the message is, okay, I'm not too sure of this, Mr. Quen, but he says, we still remember the Asharman raid, the Techiman murder, among others. No way for a field day for the military in Naro. Resetting agenda in Ghana today, and that's coming from Stephen Penny. Wow.
Courage, Kotoga, your message is long. Sorry, we'll not be able to read it. But yes, we see your message. Idrisu Ebi Fuseni too has sent in a message. Sorry, we cannot read them because we need to move on to other things. Now, let's take a look at this.
I'm always prepared. If you be fruits, then don't be my pet. See, I be far gone. You talk about the night on. Now they spit like a python. When you bygones, or when they ride on. No more, you have said. See, I'm that boy in particular. I feel me, mama heat. See me, red job, be killing the beat. No regular, if you see me for streets from me, senator. I'm coming with fire. No go retire. Here on the road, come on, no retire. Now come and move by the devil's alive. King is here, you walk on my fire. Oduma kuma mama nyansa siya usame na musansa abua pete suwe nyansa butesi menisu nyamine nim mekusa kuseni nashe mitim ya wumesemi mbekunti yadi ame upeta mama kuma babo.
Diani there being him and of course giving you really the best he could during the Mentor, the 14th edition, the breakout edition as we brought you, and he didn't win but he was the first runner-up. And he's joined us in studio with the second runner-up, Achedie. Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen, and you're welcome.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you.
I suppose you guys haven't slept since Sunday, right? How have you been doing? Perhaps I should start with you, Achedie.
I've been good. I've just, been enjoying the whole congratulations thing.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to have enough rest because it's not been easy.
It's been back-to-back for you.
Yeah.
And Jenny, how has it been for you as well?
Amazing. Yeah, amazing.
Yes, I mean, throughout the season, and just you had 5 nominations for Star Performer, also won 1. And yes, you might have started a bit quietly. You also received 5 nominations for Best Costume. And like I said, you ended up being the first runner-up. And those moments, if you can tell us how those moments taught you and really shaped how eventually you went through the competition to where you got to.
Yeah, so I felt like for all those nominations, it was pointing me to somewhere that, not to say the others are not good, this season, shouts to all the other contestants, right from scratch, they are amazing. And yeah, but it was pointing me to somewhere that you would be here, you would be at the finale.
Yeah.
And that's what I believed. So yeah.
And a big congratulations to you. At the moment it dawned on you that you had reached the finale, what was going through your mind?
Oh, actually, I've always had my people in mind. Yeah, so it's I'm doing it for the people. So when I got to the finale, it's this is what the people needed, and now you are here. So there is no turning back. Just kill it for them.
You just kill it for them. Actually, congratulations to you as well. And a lot of people remember that Aretha Franklin song that for many was the breakthrough for you. Yeah. How did you get yourself prepared for that and eventually the kind of results that you got?
I love Aretha Franklin. I've been listening to Aretha all my life, and my favorite song from her is Natural Woman.
Which is what broke it out for
Exactly. You. And so, we had themes, this season, every Sunday, and the theme that
we had to, go by. And so when we reached the throwback Sunday, I was like, okay, doing something, old, let me just take an Aretha Franklin song and then let me do my favorite song and see how it goes. And so preparation was not too difficult for me because I loved the song and, it was easy for me. And so I think that was what did the magic.
What did the magic for you? But eventually you went on to earn the star performer.
Exactly.
How did that add a lot more motivation to the journey?
Truth is, I wasn't expecting that star performer. So it was like, hey, you've got this, you can do this. And funny enough, right after that Star Performer Day, I got nominated for Star Performer throughout the season.
How, I'm coming back to you, DNA. How would you say that the entire process transformed you? The kind of person you walked onto the stage and then eventually who you became after?
I feel like mentor has refined me as an artist because, I come from a place where it was like we used to rap on the streets, like we just rap on beats. I've never...
On beats?
Yeah, or like on beats.
Okay.
It's like they played through the speakers and you just rap to it. But I've never had like rapping to a live band, so it's been amazing and I feel like mentor has been a checkpoint for me too because I knew I was good. I'm talented, but I was sleeping on myself all along. But being in the mental house and being in this competition, I had to come up with something every week as to whether I like it or not. It's a task and I had to do it and deliver so that my people also feel better.
You were sleeping on yourself, you say?
Yeah, because I was in my comfortable zone. I do music when I wanted to. Because I'll just write a rap or write a song when I feel like, okay, let me do this. But here lies the case now. I have to do it because I have to do it. And I have no excuse as to whether I feel like or I don't feel like. So I feel like mentor has been a wake-up call. And I'm that grateful.
So you would say that it's changed your pattern. Now you don't want to do it because you feel like you have to do it because you need to do it.
Yeah.
That's, you think, what it's made you to be eventually.
Yeah.
Achede, the judges at a point saved you from eviction. What did that mean to you? Being given a second chance at a very critical moment.
It meant everything to me. Good. It showed me that, I had something that couldn't go unnoticed. You understand? Because the semi-finals, the final 8, we were all good and anyone could go home. Though I wasn't expecting to go home that Sunday, but after everything, I found myself in bottom 3 and I thought that was it till the judges saved me. So I was so grateful. I just knew that, no, I had something that I just couldn't go home with.
You had something you couldn't go home. How did that fuel you to, move you on eventually to the second runner-up position?
It made me want to do better. I didn't want to, make the judges regret on their decision. And also, I didn't want to disappoint my people and disappoint myself being given the second chance. I just wanted to, do better.
Perhaps I should ask you about the future, and I'm coming to you, DNA. Like I did say earlier, you had 5 nominations for Best Costume.
Sure.
Of course, you didn't win, but eventually, beyond the discipline that you talk about, moving forward, what will be your focus in terms of lyrics?
Yeah, lyrics-wise, me personally, when I'm writing a song, I just imagine myself maybe in 10 years to come or in years to come. I don't want to listen to it again and feel like, you could have done better. So I always write ahead. So I feel like I always use refined lyrics. If it's for amusement purposes, then that one. But if it's music, I always like refined lyrics, like something that I could even listen to in years to come and I wouldn't even regret that I did that. Yeah.
Meaning that there's going to be a lot of thinking into your lyrics.
Yeah.
To get that kind of eternal music that we have.
Yeah.
Achede, what about you?
For me, I love music. I've been doing this basically all my life. before I wouldn't have been, here even talking to you because I didn't have the confidence. But mentor has, taught me how to be confident, how to go for what, you want, how to grab any opportunity that you get. I've gotten a lot of training from, this season in terms of vocal training, personal, human relation and everything. So I know that I'm going to just put everything together and then help, build my craft as an artist.
Beyond that, I mean, there were pieces of advice from Kwabena and other judges. What would you say was the one that stuck with you most in terms of the counsel they gave?
I'd say Kwabena's, throughout the competition, right? Yeah, so there was one time that, the beginning of the competition, I wasn't so confident. And there was one time Ochame Kwame told me that anytime I was coming to stage, I should choose between doubt and belief because I'm very good. And if I choose doubt, it wasn't going to help me. And I chose belief.
And it helped?
It helped me.
And for your DNA?
I think there was one time too, I think I don't actually remember the performance, but I was performing and I had like a few crowd, like they were vibing with me. But then I just moved out from them and I was moving into another zone. So afterwards, Ochame Kwame told me, anytime I perform, and if there is only 3 people and they are vibing with me, and when I see like hands up and only 3 people are doing that, I should stick with them and forget the others. And I felt like that was a great knowledge. So shout out to Ochame Kwame. Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, you were on the competition as a rapper.
Yeah.
How did you sail through looking at a competition that sometimes concentrates on vocal dexterity, as compared to somebody who is just coming to talk in terms of rapping?
Yeah. It wasn't easy. Like me, as like the only rapper in this competition, felt like a very short person trying to walk in the midst of giants, like, because these people have very big voice, like, they sing so well. So initially, like, I wouldn't say but initially I felt maxed, like, yeah. So
like you were swallowed by the voices.
Yeah. So like day in, day out, like I was even when I'm writing my performances, I was thinking as them as well, like to put in something that will like actually put me up there and say, oh, there's a rapper here too and it's good, like, So I was Charlie shouts to them. Yeah.
Moving forward, what should we expect from you?
Yeah, more music, and I hope and pray that DNA will be a household name and everybody will see.
And for you, because you mix R&B with Afro-pop as well, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of songs should we expect from you moving forward?
For me, I feel like this is just the beginning for me. The platform, everything. I feel like Mentor has given me more clarity and more visibility, and so I'm just going to learn more. I don't want to rush with releasing music for now. I want to learn more and better myself, perform more, and try and build my artistry and then reach a wider audience.
Nice. Your final word?
I'm so grateful for everyone that helped me throughout the competition. The whole of Ghana, Assemblies of God Ghana, PUSAG members, CAF University management and students, fans of Onua Showtime, Her Excellency Nana Mama Brown, my dad, Dr. Kalmak Ahin. I love you so much, Daddy. Thank you so much for the support. My mom, my Dean of Students, Madam Judith, my Auntie Linda Ifiahin. I'm so grateful. If I start mentioning the names, I wouldn't finish. So I'm so grateful to you all. I love you all. And thank you for bringing me this far. And I promise to work harder and harder and harder to make you all proud. So keep supporting Achedia till we get to the top.
Yes, those words from Achedia there. And for you, DNA, your final words?
So a big thanks go to God for this talent, and then shouts to my family, my friends for their unflinching support and prayers. Shouts to my people in US, especially Medical Laboratory Science, class of 2022. They did so well. Shouts to my people, like my past students, like from Upas or for Penny Senior High School. Shouts to my people from the streets too. They held me down. Like, shouts to everybody, Charlie. It was amazing. Without you, I wouldn't have been here. So God bless you so much. And Charlie, you supported me throughout. Like I always say this. So if you need something, my social media handles are there. Like, reach out to me too. I'll also help you. Like, I'm always open like that. Yeah, thank you very much.
Giving back, DNA, and congratulations to you, first runner-up, Mentor
Thank you.
14th edition, the breakout edition, and of course to you as well, Achedia, congratulations,
Thank
second
you.
runner-up, and for your stellar performances there. Yes, you can go on our socials and watch really how they performed, just so you get to understand how they got to where they did at the grand finale last Sunday. But thank you very much for joining us in studio. Remember that there's a world-class university right here in Ghana, and that's Rosebank International University, a strong South African university and a branch of the ADVT Group, Africa's largest private education provider, with 146 schools across 5 African countries and over 100,000 learners, and partly owned by the World Bank through the IFC. Rosebank International University is fully accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority, the British Accreditation Council, GTEC in Ghana, City Guild UK, and Capsicum Canary Studio. At Rosebank International University, we offer a Doctor of Business Administration, MBA, Master of Science and Master of Philosophy in Digital Marketing, Bachelor of Supply Chain Management, targeting professionals in freight forwarding, customs, and many more. We offer hospitality and culinary arts, available at diploma, undergraduate, and postgraduate levels. Our ICT has BSc Information Technology in Business Systems and IT Computer Application Development, all carefully designed to equip you with the skills and qualifications needed for a successful global career. Our mission is simple: inspiring excellence. Remember, admissions are now open for January 2026. You can visit our modern campus at Airport Commercial Opebia House, Accra, or apply online at www.riuc.edu.gh. Rosebank International University, building global citizens. And if you see me holding this, you know that you've got the best snack that would help you keep your day and keep you strong during the day, and that's Nutri Snack granola bar, power-packed energy bar, filled with honey and all the other essential ingredients you need for a day filled with energy. You can take it in the morning, afternoon, or evening. It's a good snack for you. Don't forget, it is Nutri-Snack, granola bar, power-packed energy. Grab a copy now and ensure you have a day filled with energy. Good for you, very nutritious. So go grab one. Or you can go get a whole box for yourself and family. And you're still here on Newday on TV3. When we come back, we'll bring you some more. Do stay with us.
exciting as well as educative analysis with various stakeholders from all sides of the political divide, including civil society and the academia. So make sure that you still can stay with us, not only from today, but also all throughout Saturday till the polls close for the presidential primaries of the New Patriotic Party. All right. More importantly, we will also talk about the subject matter of the GTEC, that's the governing body that tends to sanitize or supervise the academic degrees that are awarded by the various public universities as well as tertiary institutions we have in Ghana. It's headed by Professor Jinapo as well. And this time it is the University Association of Ghana who have also had their own concerns raised. And this time we have, apart from the University of Ghana UTAG, we also do have UEW also coming in as well. So I just got this one from Dr. Tutubua in the full statement from UTAG as well. Okay, so we'll take a look at that when we have the time towards the end of the program. But you know that our lead correspondent, Solomon, has also been at the receiving end of this brutality. We've had statements issued subsequently and then also conversations had with the Media Foundation for West Africa. And those military brutalities are one too many. And that assault on our journalists is condemned in every facet of it. There's a public statement issued by the management of Media General to in that regard. That also means that we need to add our voice to a clarion call. So we'll do that quickly as possible. Make sure you still can stay and join us. Dr. Zato is not in studio, but we have Solomon Owusu. Good morning.
Good morning, Roland.
United Party.
United Party.
How is Alan Kojo Chamanting distinguished?
He's doing so well. He's so happy. He's healthy. He's readying himself to join a rigorous campaign towards 2028. But for now, he is helping in the background as to how Ghana can develop.
Okay. Dr. Zato is joining us on stream. I'll go to him as well. Dr. Zato, representing the camp of Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. I don't have the Get Connected camp here. I'll try and get Dr. Evans Dria. But Dr. Zato, good morning to you. Last week we had a fight, but we are cool today, right?
Good mornings and greetings from Tumu, the municipal capital of Kusala East. I'm here in the Hamatan enjoying it, and good morning to you in the studio. Solomon, no mischief this morning, okay? No mischief. And Roland, good morning, and I hope that you will keep Solomon in check. No mischief this morning.
Okay, so we want you to frame your shots well. It's in the mobile view dimension, so we'll get it well. Our guys will speak to you quite well, so that we have it all done. But
no problem.
We wish you all the best. Okay. And then also, Rashid Tanko is here, boss for GIFEC. Good morning to you, Rashid.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah.
And how's the family?
Oh, well.
Let me say good morning to my good brother Solo, and then my mischievous campaigner is looking for Tumu area. We are holding it firm. We are not going to release it at all.
The computer has started the
Is that computer has done what?
My hometown preparing for Kuro.
Is that computer has done what?
He has started the mischief. I said I'm in my hometown preparing for Kuro Yoho. It's the 75th jubilee of Tumu Kuro Yoho, Kuro Wegre Canton. We are here to celebrate, and you are talking about politics. What's that?
All right, quite an exciting time. So,
Solomon, you should come to Tumu one day. We should come to Tumu one day. And computer, have you been to Tumu before?
You know, I've been there. I was there last month. I was there.
I'm inviting you to
well, I have been to Tumu before. I've been to Tumu a couple of times. Yes. So.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. It's a beautiful place. We welcome all of you.
Yes, very green to be more specific. So I have a couple of you on our stream. Please share the stream for us. Watching us, I have Obrempong Kaba. Kwesi Mensah is in Albany, New York. And Prince Nani York is also there. Uncle Charles Thompson is in the UK as well. Kwejo Fiagbe is there. And he's asking what is happening. Solomon is in suits. Okay, Solomon, why are you in suits?
Oh, today I have an international appointment.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So, international meeting has compelled
but they must know that I'm a chief executive of a company.
Yeah, they don't know that you travel to meet your business partners. But, you know, that's how public
No, but I love being in my Africa way. Honestly, today, this is all a burden onto me. You understand?
You're tired.
Either tired and all this hot weather. If I were in my fugu or my kaftan, I love
your
it.
shirts, your local shirts.
So you will not be seeing me in this. I tell you.
Right. I see Joshua Gordon as well. Aaron Morrison. Neo Date Milt is watching us from Finland. And he said we should remove the scammers. That is those accounts that tend to say they are selling data. So, Justice, good morning to you and your family. Ni Jassy, good morning. Kelvin Niashan, I see you. Yusuf Abdullah, Pearl, I see Pearl. I see Empress as well. Kwesi Asante, I see you. Amma, I also see you. And David Pamford, now all of you. Moses, I've seen Solly Moses as well. Now, please make sure you share the stream. Let's have this conversation. Global Info Analytics is saying, hey, Yamole baby, good morning to you, Yamole. And Global Info Analytics is saying that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will win. We also have Dr. Evans Dria also indicating, based on his latest polls, that Kenny Japan will be winning. We'll try and get Dr. Evans Dria on the stream as well. But Dr. Zato, what do you say? I mean, you tend to monitor all the things. I know that. Okay. So I also know that you're a member of, is it the Africa Lens? You also put out. Okay. All right. Please. Let me start with, what do you make of the MPP elections in the first place?
Very well. Like initially I stated, let me say good morning to my good people of Bimbila and Wulensi as well as Panda. Today we'll get a ruling for the Panda at the Supreme Court. From here, by now I have to cut short and run to the Supreme Court. We're expecting a favorable ruling for the NDC and the good people of Panda. You see, Roland, on several accounts, I told you that this Saturday election is a cooked election.
How do you mean by it's a cooked election?
It's a planned strategy to put Bawumia up as a candidate. The whole thing was planned at Alisa Hotel. And I described them as Alisa Group. They sat down and planned this strategy.
Alisa Group?
Yes, Alisa Group. That's where they planned this thing. That let's put Mahmoud Bawumia as a candidate in order to sustain ourselves as executives of the party. Because you cannot go and get some 38.2% in an election and expect the broad base of the party to still let you lead such a group. MPP is a strong, formidable party that I know from 1992 when they started. In fact, they were given a run for our money. Look at what they did to us in 96. They were not part of the parliament of 1993. They were outside, made noise, organized themselves well, and got about 66 in 1997 parliament. Now, these 66 members struggled with us in parliament and made sure that we lost the election 2000. That was how formidable the party was. Now, this party started going down the drain when President Kufuor advised them against electing somebody who is full of tension. And they refused. And elected somebody who was full of tension.
Who is the tension person?
Oh, it was a statement from President Kufuor then. That was 2007. I'm sure the video is around, where he was saying that they should make sure that they elect somebody who is not full of tension, who will bring the party together, who will not make sure that the party would say...
That famous video.
That famous video is there. And what happened? At the end of it, when they elected somebody, for the first time, they started sacking leadership of the party. The national chairman was sacked. The general secretary was sacked. The first vice chairman of the party, national, was also sacked. You see, that's the tension the President Kufuor was talking of. Now, with all these things, now look at where the party has reached. That is what the man was talking about, the problem. Now, this Alisa group sat down and realized that, look, we performed badly. Now, if we should say we should go and reorganize the party from the branches, they have what they call polling station executives. And then come to constituency, to regional, all the current executive, they would have thrown them out. If you are a serious political watcher and an activist, you would not return somebody with 38.2% back into the race. They would have thrown them out. So they adopted the top-down approach. Let's put a presidential candidate, since he's the one who led us to get the 38.2. If he is able to succeed, there will not be justification for removing us because he was the leader.
But that's a conspiracy theory.
That is what I'm saying. They conspired. They sat down and did all this plan. It's a strategy. Haven't you seen that all the national officers are lacing their boot to come back again? So on what basis, if you put Bawumia there as a candidate, on what basis would you want to remove their general secretary or the organizer or all the officers who were elected, who supported him to get the 38.2%? That is the strategy. That is the plan. And they've succeeded in that. In coercing all this, because that if you look at the current National Executive Committee of the party, it's full of the Bawumia group, which are known as the Alisa people. So they judged except no, there was no opposition to it. Who does that? This is a novel. This is the first time they have started that. And you see that the other four candidates are playing along. I've been saying that they are playing along because they know the 2028, they will lose. And then so that they will still be relevant in the scheme of things. If they don't play along and chicken out and go contest this one, how are they going to come back after 2028 to convince the broad base of the party that after Bawumia, I should be the best person to lead the party? The only thing is to play along with them. And that is why they are playing along. The four of them, they know they can't beat this man with this election that they are going.
But have you monitored the messaging? What's your own views on the messaging from all the individuals, whether it's Dr. Mahmoudou Bawumia, Kenny Japong, Brian Champong, or Educhum, and then also Engineer Japong?
Look, what message are they giving to them? You are giving a message to a group that has already made their mind. It's the same group that brought Bawumia into this thing. It was a chorus. And now you are going back to tell the same people, now they shouldn't vote for him. Don't forget, the people that you are asking they shouldn't vote for, they are all part and parcel of the group that led them to get 38.2%. So what are you telling them? If you go and stand before them, like, Brian, I like his message. He's trying to look at numbers. He's always telling about numbers. That if you look at the numbers and all that, it doesn't speak good for Bawumia and all that, if they should bring him back. He's talking about numbers. Are you getting it? But interestingly, the people you are talking about are the people who brought those numbers. Are you getting it? They are the architect of the numbers. They didn't do their work well, and that led to that number. And now you are telling them, it means you are blaming me and asking me I should vote for you. That is what he's doing. So it's not resonating to the right persons. If they had elected branch executive, elected constituency executive, and regional, that message would have resonated well with them. Because the new people who are coming in. They have
electoral area.
Yeah, electoral areas. It would have resonated. Because they would have seen that, but this number, these people actually, but it's not good numbers. We shouldn't bring Bawumia back again. Because he's not the person who can do it. But you are talking to somebody who brought that number. So invariably, you are condemning him and still want him to come and vote for. That's why their rating is not going up. But I can tell you, the four of them know very well that this election, they are going to cook it for Bawumia come 31st. But Bawumia will ultimately lose the 2028 and they will come back. At that time, he will not be back. He cannot even come near the party to say they should bring him back after 2028 again. By that time, you will see Brian and then the Kennedy Ajapong and then Engineer Ajapong. You see, by that time, they will be, because if you look at Educhum, it appears...
You're making a claim that he's being shepherded to go off the political scene.
Of course, that is the plan. That is going on. It's a strategy pushing him out completely. That is why the virtual members, if you look at the virtual members who are there, they are saying that they are watching.
Who are the virtual members?
Oh, Professor Frimpong mentioned it, that they have virtual members of the party and that they are there. If you look at them, if you listen to them carefully, all of them are saying that if the NDC want to, this NPP want to be relevant, continuously to be relevant in the annals of Ghanaian politics, they shouldn't vote for Bawumia. Because they have seen through that. And they have a tradition. And I've been saying that tradition, I've watched them since 92, it's been a very formidable one. Janice Selby and then Dubois Hini, you see their chairman then, who was there, that astute legal luminary, Darocha. This was a formidable party. Anytime we're going out for a campaign, we had to prepare ourselves very well because we are going to face a formidable group.
The NDC?
No, MPP at that time.
Yes,
but
I'm
now,
saying you, the NDC.
Yeah, with the NDC, we had to prepare ourselves. We didn't find it easy in 96. Although we beat them, 2000, we were not much threat for them. They had to organize themselves very well and gave us a hell of time, and we lost it. So we are saying that now this party, until they reorganize, I don't wish them bad. They are our opponent. It's a party that we believe that, yes, they are the capitalists, we are social democrats. We want our democracy to flourish, and it's good to have multi-party democracy. But what I'm seeing, thankfully enough, well, another group is very formidable now. UP is being formed, and it's an offshoot of the Dankwa bourgeois tradition. If they are able to organize themselves well, I think they will do far better than MPP as of now. It's because what I'm seeing...
UP.
I'm telling you.
This UP.
UP, I'm seeing it. Because I'm seeing that...
Dr. Zato.
This thing in them.
Dr. Zato.
Yes, Roland, good morning.
Yeah, all these posts, I see that, is it the Africa Lens as well? Your organization. You also, because I saw your post, just this dawn I saw the post, because I monitor your social media accounts very well. You know, I love your TikTok account, and so I go to Facebook as well. And I saw that you had a post made on what the outcome will be. And I know you are there alongside Dr. Domfe and Dr. Bano.
Thank you very much.
So you look at the outcome of those posts.
It's called the Africa...
Africa what?
It's the Africa Policy Lens, APL. We had...
Okay, so the Africa Policy Lens.
But before that, I just need to say something.
No,
yes, I need to say something.
So let me ask my question, and then you say the thing, okay? Okay. So I see that the poll outcomes seem to be favoring Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Not only the Africa Policy Lens, but also we have Global Info Analytics and a number of the poll outcomes. But there is one organized by one Dr. Evans Dria, who says that Kennedy Japan will be the winner. He even has a prophetic backing. You know, Prophet El Bernard said that Kennedy will also win. That is putting a lot of pressure on the Bawumia camp, is it not?
Thank you. Good morning to you, and good morning to our viewers and those in the studio. First of all, I need to say something, and to my brother Rashid Tanko then. At least we have a duty as public officers to be honest and to be fair in our public discourse. And so, and as the Deputy Director of Elections for the NDC, it's imperative that when you are on public air, that you do not churn out untruths, half-truths, and lies. And I'm saying this because the last time we met there, this thing came up. Rashid Tanko, in 2016, do you know that there was one time that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the sitting president, had 30%, right? You know that there was one time His Excellency Dr. John Dramani Mahama had 34%. So is it fair to say that he's a 34% guy? The point I'm making is that just because in the course of counting numbers, a particular number was reached, that didn't mean that that's the delegate's complete number. And you know this. So if as the Deputy Director of Elections, you do not know that the final gazetted numbers for Dr. Bawumia was 41.75%, then you are the one with the problem, and you are the one that's a problem with the statistics. So please, don't be mischievous and don't be disingenuous. Don't sit down there and, for want of a better word, tell lies to the public about a figure that you know is wrong. They are gazetted numbers. Did the Gazette say that Dr. Bawumia had 38%? We all have a duty to do that. I'm not saying to praise him, but all I'm just saying is that don't lie. That's number one. Number two, yes, there are polls and there are so many different polls. And as I've said, Africa Policy Lens, I'm a senior fellow at the Africa Policy Lens, and our poll has just come up. What we did different with our poll was that we looked at candidates' favorability and likability before the candidate visited and after the candidate has left. Because our hypothesis was, does a face-to-face matter? Does it matter when the candidate visits you? Because everybody has heard about this candidate on social media and other places. And they form their opinion. So we want to know, does it matter after the candidate has come to visit you? So we looked at their favorability, where they were before they visited, and then we also look at the favorability where they were after they have visited. And when we did that, almost all the candidates appreciated. The only candidate that did not appreciate was Kennedy Agyapong. He was the only one people loved when they saw him on TV, on radio, but they didn't return the feeling when they met him in person and they received his message in person. So that was kind of the new thing we did in this poll. As you can see, so many polls have been released. Africa Policy Lens, Global Info Analytics, Conrad Adjena Stefan, and all these things. I also did something the last time I put it on my social media platform. You can take the average of all the polls to account for validity, reliability, and triangulation. You can do that. And then if you take the average of all the polls, that means you said, I don't trust this poll, I don't trust that poll, I don't trust that poll. Okay, put all of them together, you take an average of that. You will still see that if you do that, the average comes down to around 63% for His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So that is if you just want to account for almost all the errors in all the polls. That still puts him in a commanding lead. So that is what we did. And if you look at that, you will see that we have done that. Thirdly, there's one thing. I'm happy that in this particular case, with the polls projecting Bawumia to win, the NDC is mourning and crying more than the bereaved family.
I don't understand.
To be so invested in this that
Dr. Zato, I don't understand. Who is mourning?
And for me, it's
the
NDC is mourning more than the bereaved family.
Why?
This is what I mean.
Okay.
Every time you have the same in this. First, it was Felix Owusu Kwachi. Then it was what's the name? Dashi Tanko himself. Then it was the director of legal affairs or something like. It was the deputy minister, all saying that the NPP is better off electing somebody other than Dr. Bawumia. So you want to sit down and deeply ask yourself, why is this NDC so vested and worried and interested in whom the NPP elects? And why do you think the NPP will suggest that you elect somebody that is stronger for their candidate? If you read between the lines, you then begin to understand the panic within the NDC war room. If you then begin to then understand that they have a vested interest in getting a weaker candidate. But look, elections are one of the polling stations, and I strongly believe that the Ghanaians decide who leads them. It's okay that in their honeymoon, the NDC is Rashid is talking the way he's talking. But I want to believe that. I believe the polls. You mentioned something too about prophets. Yes, I am not going to say that God doesn't exist or the way God doesn't work. I'm simply saying that I believe the polls. If I'm in this particular case, if I'm supposed to choose between faith, belief, or the polls, I believe the polls. And all these polls cannot all be wrong all the time. Global Info Analytics has been consistent. APL has been consistent. TAS has been consistent. Almost all this. There's something too I want to say at least to students of methodology. I call what's called a reputable poll. One, a reputable poll is a poll organized by an organization. Polls are very expensive. So individuals, I believe, do not have the capacity to just go out and do that. Polls need a lot of money, a lot of resources. So I trust polls by organizations. Those are what I call reputable organizations. So I would trust Africa Policy Lens as an organization. And yes, I am a senior fellow there. If you want, go to Africa Policy Lens, go to our website, and look at the profile of all the people there.
Okay.
Together, all of us there, we have close to 200 publications, academic publications. And we are from some of the most reputable universities in this country. And we have all gotten to where we are through research. Our CVs, individual CVs and collective CVs, demonstrate that we have the knowledge to do research. We've done research throughout.
Okay.
2, Global Info Analytics, Conrad Adjena Foundation. So all these are called reputable organizations and reputable institutions that have demonstrated over the time that they have the wherewithal to do this kind of research.
All right.
At the end of the day, the polls will come out, we'll see. But it's important that I want to go back to the point I made earlier. That look, Dr. Rashid Tanko, last time we clashed in the studio, but don't do this. Because at the end of the day, honesty is important. At the end of the day, truth is important. And we all learned maths in primary school. Just because you...
Dr. Zato. Dr. Zato. Okay. What do you make of it? Because I go to that. Okay. When his network comes back, I'll go to him for him to conclude. But okay, Dr. Zato, are you back? Dr. Zato?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, so I'm at the Africa Policy Lens. Our people.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I'm on the African Policy Lens, our people page. I see Dr. George Domfe, Professor Bwedi, Dr. Budu. I also see Dr. Yerakwa. I see yourself, of course, Dr. Bano. And all of you are Baumia people. So how do you think that the outcome of your research, of your institute, I mean, not to prejudice whatever it is you're doing,
Roland,
and then please let me finish. Please let me finish.
Roland,
let me finish, Dr. Zato. Even virtually, you are still fighting me. Let me finish, please. Let me finish. So, how do you think that when it is perceived by the other camp that you are more aligned to the DMB camp, your research outcome, irrespective of how academically it's been produced, will rub off them, whether positively or negatively, or feed into the perception?
Thank you very much. I teach students in my class. I teach research methods. There are NDC students in my class. I teach them. There are NDC students teaching my class. That what the research you've seen there is our academic work. It's what we do as academics. So I don't go to my class and say that because I'm an MPP, I will teach this, or because I'm in this, I'll teach this. We do that. There's a place we don't cross the line when it comes to our professional work. So that is the fact. Secondly, as I said, whilst your people are there, they should look at our CVs and look at our publications. That means that we are capable of conducting independent research. That's why we publish the research there. We've demonstrated, in fact, all the people you've mentioned there. Dr. Budu is a dean of law. Professor Bwedi is a dean of accounting and finance, and all those other people. We have demonstrated that, and for me, that is the bigger point, to be able to demonstrate that we can carry out independent research. So, despite whatever you do, I go into the classroom and I do my academic work. Dr. Bodu, Ayerakwa does the whole do that. So, it's not up to me for you to either agree or not to agree to the research we've done. We have done that going by all the ethics and professionalism of research we publish it. And as I've said, every research, you can always look at what you've done and you can have a thing or two to say about it. But then the question becomes, that is why we put our names out there publicly. That is why we put our CVs outside there. That is why we are not hiding behind anything. We said that this is our research. We are academics, we are intellectuals, this is what we do. Whether you believe or not, it's up to you, but we have done that and we published the research.
Okay, so I asked the question not about me believing you. I believe you. I'm talking about the comments and then the perception that the other camp hold, particularly the Get Connected camp, that's the Kennedy Japan camp, that because the sum of you seem to be closer to the DMB camp, even though you did good work, don't you think that perhaps also fuels the perception that they hold?
Thank you. No, as I said, I respect their perceptions and I respect what they are doing. But at the end of the day, you can look at data and then you can look at perceptions. We didn't do this for any camp. We didn't do this either to make them happy or to make them angry. We published a research. By the grace of God, by the close of this Saturday, we can then take the results and then we can begin to say, okay, how did we do? How didn't we do? But so long as you cannot say our methodology was false, so long as you cannot say our sampling was wrong, so long as you cannot say the men and women there do not have the capacity to do this research, then once we've ticked all these boxes, we've done our job and we've done it very well.
Okay. Now, there's one more. You've been listening to the messaging. And since this whole campaign started, there's a Bronyo on one side who, of course, says that he's not part of the campaign team of DMB, but of course, it's a regional chair. And then the messaging that has been coming from the Ken camp as well, for example, called DMB a liar. And there's been a concern that has been raised. After signing the pact, he's even gone on a campaign platform, that's Kennedy Japan himself, to say that the doctors or the holders of PhD didn't read the pact content, etc. and all that. What do you think about the messaging, for which we've had varied reactions to?
Thank you very much. Again, everybody who has ever watched primaries will understand that primaries can be very bruising. Primaries can be very difficult and challenges. Every political party is at its most vulnerable stage when they are doing a primary. We've established that. It's true. And sometimes when you are the other opponent, you should fetch water close to your beard when you see your opponent in a primary and it's getting ugly. So yes, has it gotten ugly? Yes. Is it likely going to get very ugly? Yes, it will. I'm not surprised about that. But you, especially usually at the closing end of a campaign, there are two things you see. You can see people campaigning out of fear or anger and desperation. And you can see it in their message.
Okay.
You can also see people's closing statement being about strength, about unity and projecting unity. That is about winning. So I can so what I can advise everybody is that watch the body language and watch the message. If there's somebody there advocating positive message, positive camera energy and stamina, talking about the good things and this sense, probably that person is doing that because that person knows he's winning. If there's somebody there that has degenerated into name calling, being very vindictive, very insulting, disrespectful, it's probably because the person too has read the writing on the wall and knows that he's losing. And so the person is trying to what? Just literally bomb the whole house. The person is trying to sing the whole boot. So there are two different campaigns. So watch the very end. And that also shows you, and probably the weight of the polling is also showing on the candidates.
Okay.
Candidates that probably have seen the polling and they think that the polling is relatively good and better for them. Maybe there are those that are closing strongly on a positive note, talking about their experience, their CV, and demonstrate a lot of what? Emotional maturity. And then probably candidates that feel that the polls are demonstrating that they will lose and lose heavily. There are those that are showing this lack of emotional maturity. There are those that are degenerating into vulgar and insulting messaging. So look at the messaging, look at the body language. It will tell you a lot about where the polls is.
All right. When you are virtual, you talk differently. And I love the way you are. I'm not saying we want to keep you virtual, because when you're in studio, I love it better. but we're here because after the election, there was the Okwe committee that was set up. The reports had been submitted to the leadership of the party. But subsequently, there had been concerns that had been raised. A lot of commentary. We have Eugene Boachenchi, a number of individuals who had raised concerns, Ejakon, we have Atta Kennedy and the rest, okay? The perception that had been created was that DMB has a stranglehold on the party because they still don't have the regular or normal way of trying to reassert yourself after a huge loss. So we've had the top-bottom approach, which has been criticized extensively by outsiders. Now we've come to the point where the messaging seems to have incurred a lot of wrath among all the individuals who are contesting, to the point that even the last time when they were signing the pact, you could see the demeanor, confirmed later by aides of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia of himself when he was signing. What do you think has been wrong so far from that time when they lost the election, which has culminated into all the things that have been observed to today?
So, Roland, everything has been wrong. And growing up, there was a program on TV that was called Journey to the West. Also, I don't know,
Shefu and Wukong.
Yeah, I think this
Journey to the West, that's a Chinese.
Yes, these people have embarked on what I call Journey to Abyss. The party will never be the same after Saturday because it's an own goal. First of all, immediately election 2024 was over. 14th of December, they set up a committee in the Ashanti region. That committee was chaired by Chairman Zabusu. Remember, Chairman Zabusu is a leading member of the Bawumia campaign, Bawumia elected campaign. The whole idea was to create an impression in the minds of the people that the defeat had nothing to do with the one that led them in the last election, that's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So the outcome of that report was that, yes, they attributed the defeat to the loose talks of Kennedy Japan. Nothing was attributed to the vice president. Then again, they attributed the defeat to the delegate system, corruption, and mismanagement of the economy. It is the reason why, since December of 2024, you realize that any campaign platform that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia mounted, he tried to distance himself from the happenings in government, saying that he was just a mere mate.
Was it wrong?
Absolutely. What have we been told by Napo? As for Napo, the moment he speaks, I laugh. I would always wish that you speak.
Napo.
Oh, Napo. How can you go and say that the cabinet that you were sitting, Mahmoud Bawumia was the wisest person? You have even insulted Akufo-Addo.
I don't understand.
But you go to cabinet. You that sits in cabinet. Cabinet. You had about 90 members sitting in cabinet. Look straight into all of them, their faces, and say, of all the 90, the wisest person was Mahmoud Bawumia. How can you do that to the very person that...
But that is his observation, Solomon.
That is why they went on a thank you tour. The people realized that, but for the benevolence of the Ghanaian, Napo would have been your vice president. Loose talker like that. He would have been going to the UN to go and even insult us there. How can you do that? The last time he came and even looked straight at his own uncle, President Kufuor, and said that Nana Kufuor had outperformed all of them, including his uncle. Digging a hole means performance. So clearly, they have not been in the top of shape. But let's go into the various issues that have come out. They started with a thank you tour. Under the thank you tour, remember someone was stabbed in Bantama, leading to Kennedy Japan withdrawing from the thank you tour. It was within the thank you tour that the national chairman, someone who had contested for this position for that long, Stephen Ayesu's team, decided to withdraw from it, and since then resigned. Now we don't even know his whereabouts. So as we speak, the NPP has no substantive national chairman. Now fast forward. What have they been telling us? We have already discussed issues of sins. Kennedy Japan's 10 sins, Bawumia's 16 sins, was it Brian's 10 sins, Aduchum's 10 sins. I think it's Kennedy Japan that they are yet to find about 3 or 4 sins. But even with them, they have found some 1 or 2 sins with him.
Kwabena Japan.
Kwabena Japan. They say he's a lazy man. That's what they have told him. That's his sin. So clearly, they themselves have told us that all of them have sinned, and that on Saturday they will be giving us what we call the Holy Sinner for the people of this country to deal with.
Oh.
You are going to give us Holy Sinner on Saturday.
Oh, Solomon.
Now, fast forward. You come to the messaging. What have they been telling us? You go to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, that we are made to believe that he is the wisest person on earth. In fact, amongst the MPP, he is the wisest person. What has been his campaign message? The major message that he has given to the MPP delegates is that, given the opportunity, he will send them to Israel to go and pray.
He didn't say that.
Oh!
He said he will sponsor Christians, like the way when it comes to Muslim pilgrims to Mecca, they are also subsidized. That's what he said.
How different is what I said from what you are saying?
Well,
the man says that
that's
you and I,
my decoding of
our tax revenue, the tax that you are paying, and I will be paying, should, in an unlikely event, he becomes the president of this land, he will use it to sponsor.
What is wrong? We do that for Muslims.
What are we talking about?
Subsidize
I give you my
marginally.
That's the more reason why Ghanaians might not even make the mistake of thinking about him, giving him 10% in the next elections. Because this Saturday election is being rigged for him. He's going to win anyway. There is nothing scientific. I heard my brother Zato talk about scientific polls. Last year, didn't I expose the Africa policy lens to you? Last year, were you not here when Zato himself was denied that he was a member of the Africa policy lens? Today, Frosley is telling you that he is a senior fellow of the Africa policy lens. I told you they turn out fake
There's Dr. Frank Bannon.
All of them are Bawumia.
Dr. Yadom.
The last time, and let me tell you, the last time I came here and did analysis
Professor Bwedi.
Professor Bwedi, I know him very well. He's a Bawumia loyalist. I spoke about Dr. Donfe. He called me, insulted, you are stupid, you are a fool. I told him that you are not mad enough. What is this? When you expose them, then they come back and insult you and send you text messages on top of it that you are this, you are that. We are talking about serious matters. What is scientific about what Zato did this morning? That the basis
they did the poll and the academics.
Did you listen to him?
Repute.
Did you listen to him? He said the basis for the establishment of Bawumia as the leading candidate is that they look at when you visit a candidate. I mean, the basis of the poll is that you must just go and visit the delegates and that's all. You get their votes.
No.
That's what he said.
It's one of many of the indicators.
That's the main.
No, you have his turn to respond.
No, that's the thrust of his argument. That because Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia visited the delegate, that is all that the delegates needed. The delegates do not care about the economic circumstances, do not care about what you intend to do for them. I mean, beyond sending people to Israel. The next thing that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has said is that given the opportunity, he would employ 10 people per constituency.
But he's thinking about the party, Solomon. Also.
So every constituency has 10 people. Is that the way someone that must be thinking
talking about
aloud?
Party loyalists.
How can you? Because you see, the point is that when you are voted for as a president, you don't serve only the interests of your party members. In any case, if you were to go to take 276 constituencies, do we have only 10 members of the party in each of the constituency? And what criteria? Instead of thinking about big policies and programs that will serve the interests of the public, you are rather thinking inwardly and saying that I will employ 10 people. And what would it do?
But it's an internal election.
What is what? The reason why we are discussing this matter falls under Article 55 of our Constitution. The NPP is a public institution that must be subjected to scrutiny. Because if we make mistake and they come to power, you and I will pay our tax revenue to them to manage it and manage it well. So that is the next, campaign message that he has given to the people, that he's going to employ 10 people per constituency. The next thing I heard from him is that he's going to build toilets. The last time he promised, he has bought the toilet again.
No.
Go to Abublushi, the one he promised, he has not
because
done that.
as part of his messaging, he said that, and argues, that the gold board policy, it's the foundation, it's his gold for oil policy and then also the purchase program.
That is why you must not even listen to him. The last time I told you that the gold for oil, the last Bank of Ghana financial statement told you that they lost 1.82 billion through the gold for oil. A steady policy, it was for chop, it was corruption, personified, and I don't even know why this government, I've heard the Bank of Ghana say that they are conducting forensic audit into that matter. And I can tell you that the levels of expose that will come out if they are going to do a meticulous job, it will blow your mind. And you will begin to chase those that have been championing the gold for oil.
You take all the indicators.
Yes.
So, El Bernard,
yes.
Africa Policy Lens,
Yes.
Global Info Analytics,
Yes.
highly reputable, even acknowledged by
Yes.
Zato himself. And then Dr. Evans Dria also saying, get connected, Kennedy Japo will be winning. It puts them head to head. And that means that an outcome could go either way, even though you make a claim that the DMB camp will be winning. At the end of the day,
Yes.
what's your own focus like that post the election, actions need to be undertaken to unite the party?
First of all, it's going to be very difficult for them to unite the party, listening to Kennedy Japan and listening to other contenders. Kennedy says that, he has repeated that Bawumia is a liar. And he said that he's not going to withdraw it. Because, you see, there are certain messages when you are in the campaign, when you say it's very easy to retract or withdraw and reconcile, where people have taken an entrenched position. Kennedy is saying Bawumia is a liar. After the elections, how does he campaign for someone who is a liar? Then people will be seeing him in a different light. Now, the Kennedy's camp, the Bawumia's camp have also called Kennedy a mad person. How do you then present a mad person and then the rest will come together? Now, they have called him a mad person. I've heard Kuka and the rest. You understand? So the point is that these people referring to themselves as mad, as a liar, I have heard Kennedy refer to Bawumia as autistic. How do you then present an autistic person to us? You understand? So it's a matter that where they have gotten to, it will be very, very difficult for them to reconcile after these elections. And that's why I don't envy them. Look, their polls, their prophecies, if you take Africa Lens, if you take, info analytics, if you take Bernard, they are all they are all in the same shoe like Ebonoa. I mean, it's just prediction, not based on any scientific.
Noah's Ark.
No, but he also predicted that he got himself into that police. So after this, if he doesn't come in, should we go and run all of these people up and say that you also deceive the people?
Ebonoa.
So the truth of the matter is that they have not done anything scientific. First of all, who is sponsoring all these people? Polls do not come cheap.
I don't understand.
Who is sponsoring Global Info? Who is sponsoring the Africa Policy Lens to come out?
It's a company.
It's a company sponsored by who? Somebody must be sponsoring. And whose interests are they serving?
Chandra, call Evangel and then also Global Info Analytics.
Let me find out who is sponsoring them.
Okay, points made. Rashid, at the end of the day, you are watching on the sidelines. And it's important that you observe keenly. I mean, Kennedy Japan, DMB, as the predictions are, of course, Zato and Global Info Analytics and some other polls say DMB will win. Dr. Evans Dria says Kennedy Japan will win. Formidable candidate for you. headache?
Well, like I stated initially, we already know the outcome of the 31st elections. So as a political party, we are not perturbed at all, because we know each of them. We know the strength of each of them. In any case, they are not even winning. So the person that they brought for the 2024 is the one they are bringing back again.
That's your target is DMB.
Of course, okay. I'm saying that.
So what if DMB doesn't win and then Ken wins? So you have no strategy for...
The thing is straightforward. I've been in this game for a very long time. In my experience in this game, I don't need to be in classroom to tell you about this experience that I've gathered over the years. I've been an election officer since 1996 for the party. So I've gone through the mill in this business, okay, for all this while. And I can tell you clearly, and that is why when I'm making my projection, when I'm speaking about election, I'm confident about certain things. I know what I'm talking about. I can tell you this process is properly designed for DMB. I don't expect any surprises. No, at all. In any case, should there be any surprise, that surprise will only lead them maybe to a second round. Of course, the DMB will still win. Because looking at the area of people, it appears about two other candidates in there are just a proxy or Ponzi candidate for DMB. They are in there. If you look at their posting, their outlook and other thing, it's just DMB line.
There are five.
There are five, but there are two of them.
So you take two out.
I'll take
the
two
rest
out.
Of the three.
The rest of the three are just one-sided.
They are puppets.
I said they are just one-sided.
Of DMB, so to speak,
yes,
in quotes.
It's a well-orchestrated plan. You will even see what they are doing, their output, and then their attack is rather on one of the candidates. If you look at two of them, they are seriously attacking one candidate. They are not even talking of DMB.
So we have two leading candidates.
Yes.
And the rest three, at least two of those three, they are attacking one of the two.
One of the two. It's very clear there.
Is it a riddle?
That's why I'm saying that there's a Ponzi game being played out there. It's a strategy. You see, when you are going into this business, it's just like the 2024. You saw some political parties contesting. They were being sponsored by the ruling government then. They brought them there. We go to an IPAC meeting and you see them, anytime they are singing, the chorus come from them. So it's a plan. We do have all these things, where you sponsor some Ponzi people to come and be singing your song and pretend that they are also political parties. It's just this thing they are doing. Two of them is Baumia people. And they are seriously watching, assuming, because, you know, the last time he was just on the touchline. And with this 38.2%, they are not sure whether he can still make it over the 50% that they are looking at. So should that thing happen, then the two of them will quickly declare and in that case, we are supporting Baumia. Are you getting that? That will force the other person, who is also independent of himself, to now look at the two, where he can do a political marketing. That is what they are doing. And so it's a clear strategy that has been played out there. But we, as a political party, NDC, we are watching on the touchline. We are watching closely. In fact, I was telling Dr. Zato, my good brother, that they should, and then one of the committee members, that we want, if they can give us accreditation as monitors or observers.
The NDC?
Yes, of course. Why not?
You want to go and observe for the...
Yes, because we don't trust what these people are going to do. You need to observe and tell Ghanaians the truth. Because you know that one of them says...
The candidates have observers. We have the Electoral Commission managing the polls for them.
But you only have observers, independent observers. Anytime we are doing, they are accredited. Is that not true? We are public institution or agency, of course, organization, and we want to observe, okay, the processes. Because we've heard one of them saying that he's going to set up anti-rigging squad. One of the candidates.
Anti-rigging squad?
Yes.
Oh, who said that?
It's Canada, Japan. He said he was...
He believes the election could be rigged?
That they rigged him. They rigged the election the last time. He mentioned that he got some place 104, and they wrote 14 for him.
I think I heard that.
Yes, he's been saying it. And some place he got 75, and they gave him 0. So he doesn't trust these people. And that is why he was saying when they brought the document for him to sign, he indicated he wasn't signing because they expunged some clause. And they were forcing him, when anything happened, they should accept the results. How can I accept such a result, anything that happened there? And
the perception by the DMB camp, and then those who are the larger number of MPP supporters, that the NDC seem to be supporting Kennedy. And so the refrain is, if the NDC maybe social media commentators and then public commentators seem to be going towards Kenny Japan, it means that DMB is the person.
The question is, have they gone to play the tapes of Kennedy Japan attacking NDC and this leadership? They should go and play the videos. If we are going to support somebody, it's not going to be Kennedy Japan. Look at it. He didn't even mince words in attacking His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He said a lot of things.
That he burned his house.
Burn his house and our national chairman and all that. He has been saying all these things. And when he was saying, they were clapping for him.
I don't understand.
The NPP guys, all those people, they were clapping and enjoying his expressions. When he was attacking judges and all that, they were happy with him. And so when has he become the darling boy of NDC? We are saying that this political party, NPP, they have planned the thing, cooked the thing, and you see, the internal democratic credentials of each of the parties, it's important that we must question what is going on there. It's very important. Because like my good brother Solomon said, should they get into office, are we not going to pay our taxes to them? They managed our taxes for 8 years, wasted everybody's time and all that. And now they are struggling. You see, instead of them to do soul searching, they are angry for power. Why are they angry? Should be questioning that. Why are they so desperate to come back just after losing the election and getting 38.2? They are struggling to come back. My good brother said I shouldn't say 38.2. I don't know why he has issues with me. Dr. Zato is always
he said
I should have it.
The accepted result that has been gazetted.
Number one, we lost in 2016. Another thing. They came out and they were all over this. They've beaten NDC over 1 million votes. Did they beat NDC over 1 million votes? What are they talking about? We know that we collated the results. And our results is very clear. We have our results. Look, MPP tell them they should bring their own results and we see. They don't have. In 2020, we had our own results. By 10 p.m. that night, we had finished them. And our results was reading 38.2. It was very clear. And that's why Dr. Baumuya had to quickly run and accepted the result, because he knew that if they were to come out with their own results, it would even be worse. And so for that one, that is what we have. We collated our results, we had our results, and then our results pointed to 38.2%. And it's very clear, the records are there. Until the 9 other constituency came in, and then up to now, they are still struggling to put out these things. So, Dr. Zato, I am not cooking figures for you. That is what we have. And that is what our database is telling us.
Dr. Zato, are you on stream? Dr. Zato? Okay, so we'll try and call Dr. Evans Dria. He did the polls predicting that we're going to have the polls going the way of I think the one at number one, right? And all that.
Kennedy,
yeah. So at the end of the day, it also means that for you, the United Party, you need to get your act together.
We are more than getting our acts together. Let me say that ever since they started their process, the number of people that are registering at our website, and for the benefit of your viewers, our website continues to remain www.unitedpartyghana.org. I can tell you that a lot of them have started joining us, that they know it is not going anywhere. This is only a fiction.
For real?
For real. I would never lie for any reason. They know that what they are doing is not going to get to anywhere. They know the party has not learned anything from it. It is only a process to rubber stamp Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia on Saturday, impose on them for their own personal parochial interest. Either than that, how can you go into an election and lose heftily like that? No proper research, no reorganization. All you care about is to bring a flag bearer. Now, when you bring the flag bearer, for the next 3 years, what is the flag bearer going to do? What is he going to do? That he's going to go around and campaign that when I was in power, the cedi to the dollar was, 17 cedi, and now it's 10 cedi, so I was better off. Is that what you want to subject your flag bearer to? That you let your flag bearer be going around and saying that when I was the head of economic management team and the vice president, a liter of diesel was being sold for 23 cedis, and now it's being sold for 9 cedi, and so my government was better off. That you subject your flag bearer to the Ghanaians and say that when I was in power, the debt to the GDP was 65%, now it's about 45%, so vote for the MPP. That you go back to Ghanaians and tell them that, oh, when we were in power, we dug that big hole that brought in economic emancipation. So vote for me, vote for the New Patriotic Party, that when he goes around, he will be confronted with the issues of corruption, and he will go and explain that, oh yes, it was a good idea that someone swindled the country 2.4 billion at the national service, someone led us to SMLD, someone led us into PDS, someone led us into the National Cathedral, and the former finance minister, happily so, has run away to the United States and is not coming back. Is that a campaign message? Is that what he's going to go around and be telling the people of this country? That's why the top-down approach, whichever you look at it, I heard Professor Makukwe yesterday with Beatrice defend the position. I think one of the problems of the day of the party is Professor Makukwe. The titles are misleading the party.
Titles?
How can you...
He's an experienced politician, academician,
what experience?
Reverend.
What experience?
Former Speaker of Parliament.
Christ in me, that as a former speaker, as a former member of Parliament for Dome, he could not use that experience to back his own son to win a very safe seat. Dome Kwabenya, safe, they lost. You understand? That after losing by such a hefty margin in Dome Kwabenya, what you could advise the party is that they must embark on a top-down approach to maintain the very delegates that elected a very weak candidate called Dr. Mubawia, who led them to a very hefty defeat, and that process and that system is good. How can you advise a party like that? And that is why he is a professor, another professor by name, Professor Flebo, what he says, no, these are fake members of the party. By fake members of the party, probably was referring to some of them. And that the virtual members who believe in the ideals and the principles of the party do not believe that the direction in which that they are going will serve the interests of the party. And I believe that they have shot themselves in the foot. They are never going to come back. They are going to play relegation matches with the CPP. And the United Party will continue to do what is right for the people of this country. And that as I've admonished the youth of this country, it is time for us to have a paradigm shift, to move in a different direction so that we will taste a different government, a government that belongs to you. The youth of this country today are no more interested that I was born into this party, born into that party. All that the teeming youth of this country cares about is that they have been given a very good job, good jobs that can pay them so that they can rent, marry, and live a decent life. That's all that they are calling for, and not what they are doing and treating. That when you come and employ 10 people from each constituency, how does that help the economy of Ghana? How does it help?
This is an internal election. I'll say that again. And I think, is that not...
Internal election? Beyond the internal election, I don't know going to face the people of this country.
Cabinet... Rashid Tanko, please, Cabinet has approved revocation of state lands without process audits. And we're told there's a whole concern about cabinets and the state lands that sometimes are located, etc. What's your own observation about it so far?
I think that's a laudable idea from Cabinet. Let's applaud them for taking such a bold step.
Why?
It's important, but look at how the state lands were being disputed and distributed like toffees. If you go up north, for northern, especially Tamale, they finished all the state lands.
So the NDC will not get some?
No, that is why His Excellency John Dramani Mahama stated that no, we are not coming in for that matter to go and then be running after state lands and other things. That is why they came up with this kind of things. Very, very important.
So around the airport area, when you go to Tamale,
yes, they have taken everything. Lemashegu, and even go to West Hospital, the lands over there, which was meant to help expand the hospital, and then the workers would say they sold everything to private people. Regional administration, you go, they sold everything. I think they're behaving as if they will not be Ghana after MPP again. And even in Accra, you saw what they were doing. Look, there are even other issues we can even talk about. Do you know that Metro Mass and this transport, I hope we're going to talk about that. They sold buses, 3,000 Ghana cities. Buses. But do you know that you're investigating that matter?
Yeah, but you value. When you value.
How can you value a bus, a whole bus, a whole bus, which has just run for about 3 years or 4 years? You go and value 3,000 Ghana cities. What is the cost of the tie? One tie. One tie of a bus. And then these people, only God knows, NPP, I don't know why they are still looking for power.
So you agree to Cabinet's decision?
No, completely. Okay. I stand by them, what they have done.
So if one day it is seen that a leading NDC member has access to state land, what happens?
Yesterday, interestingly enough, we saw the minister himself when the vice president visited the ministry and was emphatic on that matter. Very clear. If you are an officer of state or government official, and you cannot go and look for your own land, and yours is to go and be hovering around looking for state lands, are you a serious person? Are you a serious person? We have learned our lessons. We've been in opposition for 8 years, my brother, and we have sat down and watched these people, how they mess up the country, and they were humiliated with 38.2%. We don't want to go that path. We don't want to go that path. We will allow the state actors to work accordingly and make sure that the state make good use of the state lands. If the lands are for stool lands or skin land, let them deal with their matter. They are for state lands, no, we will not allow those kind of things. And we have been talking to each other. As a chief executive, ministers and other things, we've been talking. Please, keep off from that side. That is not where you should do. If you want, there are stool lands or skin land, go and see the chiefs. If they want to give you land, that's your matter. But state one, So that's why I'm saying that this one, they will stand by, and the minister was very clear about it. This government wants Ghanaians to benefit from what they are doing. The resources, everything in the country belongs to the good people of Ghana. We are only here to preside over it and make sure that we handle it and then judiciously for them. Prudent management of Ghana resources for the people to benefit from it. And that is what we are doing. And so I back them. What he has done, he knows what he's doing. They have elected us to come and implement our policies, and we are doing the same. But not to go and be looking, hunting for land wherever there are land and say redemarcation or what and be taken. No, that is not what government is coming to do. NDC will not do that. And that is why I'm saying that this one, we back it. And I've been saying it, we've spoken to each other very well about it. If you want your land, go. You know where the stool lands are, the chiefs are. Go and see them. For them, that's your cup of tea. You and them can deal with your matter. But off state lands, let's make sure that if we are going to redesign another thing, we redesign it for the benefit of the state. I back them. I support them for that.
So if you are offered a state land, you will not take it? As Rashid Tanko, Gifek boss.
You know what? I am a royal from a community, a Bimbila, a Juno. We have plenty of lands over there.
But you live in Accra?
Accra, what am I from this place? What am I going to be doing here? I have plenty of this over there. My village is over there. I'm here to work. Why should I be going and be chasing for lands? To do what? See, that's the problem. What are you going to chase for? You only need this. You see, an interesting thing I've been saying, why are people so interested in getting plenty lands and that? What are you going to do with it? When the man said he will everything for the forest, he was willing forest. Was the late General Secretary of MPP. Sir John. Forest square lands, he was willing it for people. Achimota Forest, they were willing it for. What are we going to do it? For all this. And please, look, if you want, go back to your hometown. The chiefs are there, the lands are there, plenty over there. You can go and pick them. You help them develop the place. Look, I needed to do something in my community, and I went. My uncle was there, the chief over there. He just used his hand like this. Look at this place. This tree to this tree, you can take. They are there free, lying down there.
That's Bimbila.
Bimbila is there.
Not in Accra.
I'm saying that people doing it here, they have their communities, they have their villages.
Okay.
Why can't they go there and help them develop in those areas?
I get your point.
And so that we leave government lands, so that the government can also use it to develop the place.
So that's
we
why
need hospitals, we need places, and all this.
That's why most NDC old people, they live at Hacho.
Yeah. Because they were in those days.
I'm right here.
You see that those days people are not even there.
But they said Rollins will not allow you to go. But some few have. The acquisition,
Exactly.
Yeah. But what do you make of this? I mean, it's something. It's a phenomenon that is pervasive among the political class.
It's a good thing, you know, Roland. I studied land economy at KUST.
So you're a land economist.
Yeah, I'm a land economist, and one of the.
Is it by profession or by study?
No, by profession. Yes, but one of the difficulties that I have in my life is how state actors, officials, are so greedy, and do not even appreciate why the state decided to acquire lands. If you look at when we promulgated the State Act, Act in 1962, it tells you the foresight of those that were leading there, that the state needed lands to be putting up estates, quarters. Remember in those days when the teacher was transferred from one location to the other, it was not then that the teacher would be going around looking for an accommodation. And that by the time you get there, there was already an accommodation for you to go and occupy. A nurse will be posted. Before the nurse gets to the district, there is already accommodation, a doctor. Recently, you posted the statistics where doctors had been posted to various regions and then they were not going. One of the reasons why they were not going was the fact that when they went to their new locations, there were no enough accommodation for them to as it were, occupy. And one of the reasons is that lands that could have been used to develop government houses have been sold. Estates that were for government purposes have been sold. And I asked myself, where from this greed? But you see, this whole policy from this government will not be complete if they do not revoke the EI 144 or the Cessation of Forest Act. That criminally minded act that was introduced, executive instrument that was introduced by Nana Akufo-Addo, aided by that young man, Abu Jinapo. You came to meet the Achimota forest over there. Because of criminality, you say you are giving it back to the Owu family. To go and do what? Remember, before any land is taken, the law mandates an adequate compensation to be paid. Compensation. So all these people have been adequately paid. When you hear government say that, oh, those lands that we took from the families, we never paid adequate compensation, it's a lie, it's a certain.
At the time.
They paid. They paid them. But what they do is that they will intentionally come and tell you that, oh, we love the old family so much, so we are giving it back to them. None of the lands get back to them. They just create the impression, they go back and then share the land. So I will appeal to President Mahama that it's a good move that you are, as you're putting an embargo or cancelling all public lands that have been sold, although that will not be processed. But to put the icing on the cake, to let the elders and the ghosts and the ancestors rejoice in their graves, and the elderly men who are in their homes watching, please revoke the EI 144 that gave the lands in the Achimota forest to criminally minded politicians who are waiting, but I'll be waiting to see whether they will be able to enter the forest. Because the youth of this country are ready to match them boot for boot if they enter the Achimota forest. Flora and fauna, the only place that gives us that oxygen in the whole of Accra is that place, that small place. You have sold all the lands. The only place, even there, they have turned it into a prayer camp. When you enter the forest, this church has this camp, this church, the animals are even running away. I don't know why the Forestry Commission or have allowed that to happen. That a forest house is supposed to host animals, to have and peaceful, always, here baba. You are driving all the animals away. It cannot happen.
Here what?
Here baba. When you enter there, and they are not shy of it. Each one has his camp. This one prayer camp. This prayer. One prayer to do what? They pray and come and steal from us. They go and pray and come and steal from us. They pray and come and tell our mothers and fathers that they are witches and wizards, as though they will never get old.
Which church do you attend?
You say?
All right.
You are asking me of my church. I believe in God. That is what I do. But the truth of the matter is that singular act, now they've been able to revoke the LI 2462 that allowed mining in the forest. It's a good thing. The president must put the icing on the cake by revoking the EI 144. I tell you, the ancestors will smile at him. I tell President Mahama that when he's able to do that, his ratings, approval levels will move to the roof. These are the sort of things that you do that you actualize the spirit of the ancestors. That you mean business. That you want this country to develop. We are now 34 million. At the time we were acquiring these lands, our population was not here, we're near 10 million. No, so between then and now, which of the periods that the government needs land more than ever?
Because by the time Nkrumah even were less than 6.
Absolutely. This is the time the government needs land to even give to investors to invest in hefty projects. Individuals go and take, and then they use it, they build on it, and then charge the citizens dollars. Hefty amount. People are sleeping outside. They are unable to afford accommodation because the private sector has hijacked it. The last time I was telling you that if you were to check the EC boss.
You mean they have hijacked with their political cronies?
Political cronies. The EC boss, the EC boss, J. Mensah, the land adjacent. All of a sudden, a property that belonged to the Ghana, the tourism authority, has now been transferred to the husband. For what reason?
The title?
Title. Now that the husband is the owner of that property.
Well, he's not here.
So everything must be grabbed. It must be so you
no,
people.
But if you went through due process,
what due process? You were the electoral boss. All of a sudden, a property that belongs to the Ghana Tourism Authority.
If you are giving a state land, you will not take.
I don't believe in that. Okay. I don't believe in that. I believe that if it is a state land, it's for all of us. The state must put it to good use to benefit all of us. Go and see how much they have sold the lands to themselves. The former chief justice didn't she buy a whole land at Kantuma 7,000? But for Professor Mills, you know where the Foreign Affairs Ministry is now. They have sold it to former chief justice and go. Some were exchanging their land from Ablekuma for lands at airport. I'm a valuer. How can you do comparative analysis with a land at Ablekuma to that of airport and exchange it? That they are all in the same location.
All right.
So it's a good move, but the civil servants at the Lands and Lands Commission who have been aiding these politicians. The last time Rashid Pepo told all of us that when you go and sit on the setting committee and you are done, they thank you with land. As though when they were going to the Ministry of Lands Commission, they had lands with them. You cannot be dashing our lands. Let the land remain for the state and let's use it for our development.
All right. Let me read a couple of comments. This one is coming from Delight. Says that tell Solomon that I really admire and wish to hug him. I want to hug. One of
the man.
And okay, so to buttress Solomon's claim on prayer at Achimota Forest, same is happening in KNUST Botanical Gardens. It looks like you have people who are joining your chorus.
That's what is happening everywhere. Manor West, we are praying.
It's terrible.
Manor West.
And that's coming from Nuku as well. And we have more comments coming through. All right, so Prince Derek AJ then sends me a whole one on cabinet approval of the retrieval of the state lands and its implications. Prince Nania York, watching us from the UK, says Baumia will win the upcoming election not because he truly deserves it or earned it on merit, but because the system has been deliberately arranged for him to take power now, only to be defeated in 2028 by whichever candidate the NDC fields. Meanwhile, the United Party must quietly position itself, likely staying low-key and strategic to capture seats from both the MPP and NDC, setting the stage for it to merge as a significant force in the 2032 elections. Prince Nania York, I didn't know you were a political scientist. And Ebo Bachman says the primary is not about choosing who can lead the party to victory in 2028. It is a battle over who controls the soul and direction of the party in opposition. Deep down, they all know that winning 2028 election is an impossible mission. And Lord Kofi Teman says the leadership of the MPP from day one has been structured and rigged for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. So there's nothing scientific about all the polls, including Dr. Zato's. Hey, all of you. And okay, so we have a couple more messages coming through. Let me just also go to our stream and then also read the messages from there. So I have a couple more. This one is coming from Kwabna Into. I see your message. Kwabna Into. Good morning to you, Kwabna Into. I can't read that one. And to Yemole Yemo, and a couple more also say, this one, Daniel.
I love the name, Yemole
Yemo. Yes, she's gone.
She
lives in the UK.
Can you explain the meaning of Yemole Yemo?
No, I don't know the meaning.
It's a lovely name. It's a beautiful name.
It's a beautiful
name. Yes.
Very beautiful name.
Anytime I hear the name, I'm like, wow. Yemole Yemo.
And then Yao Febri is on our stream. Why should the state revoke state land that have not been audited as cabinets have approved? We are very certain that every state land sold to an investor was sold on memorandum of understanding for a particular purpose and a price that was agreed upon by both parties. We do not want the government to retrieve state lands just because of political sentiment or the person or the entity is close to the MPP. All those state lands that have been acquired by people or entities should be directed to develop for the intended purposes, not the decision to collect because of a new government which is in power. There have been reactions to the message as well. Joshua Darkon says, TV3 are with you because of Solo, so you people should honor him. Okay, the next time we'll bring a plaque. By close of the year, we'll bring a plaque. Honor him.
Plaque.
And then Gerald says that if MPP elect Baumia, NDC should elect Apia Stadium to compete in. That's oh, please. Isaac Yiji says that if Alan had not left the MPP, Solo's talent in communication would have been buried. 100%. Solo, they say you are better than the communicators. And then Yemo says, Roland, Yemole is a firstborn.
Oh.
Yemo girl. So firstborn.
Oh, Yemo.
So Yemole.
Firstborn.
Firstborn.
Yemo. Firstborn.
Martin Jan, I'm in the USA. Whenever it's morning, I look out for Solomon because I love him. We're grateful that you watch us from the USA. Everybody is on stream. When it's and then Kwesi Pano says that romantic Solomon.
Oh.
You say, what do you say that? And then Richard Nketia also says that they love you as well. But please, gentlemen, thank you very much for making the time to pass through. Dr. Zato too as well.
But you know he's campaigning in Tumu.
He's campaigning. you know that one of our correspondents was beaten by the...
No. When I heard it, my name is Solomon.
Yeah, it's called Solomon. We'll show you the pictures. Yes.
No. We cannot tolerate that.
It's so terrible. It's so terrible. I mean, it's despicable. When I saw the thing, I mean, we can't do this. It's very bad. And I think leadership is watching it closely, and then they will be dealt with seriously. I mean, this government is a government that will make sure that we allow the media to flourish, to perform their work unheated. I mean, it's terrible. At this state of our democracy, we shouldn't be having this kind of thing. Having the media being dealt with like this is not the best at all, completely. We completely condemn that, and I'm happy government is taking it up seriously on that matter. I mean, you shouldn't do this to them. Even if you think that the person is intruding and other thing, that's not the way to go. There are several ways to deal with them and all this. This is not the way at all. We shouldn't have this in our democratic culture at all. And I think something must be done about it. It's despicable. When I saw the thing, I was furious. I mean, you can't do this to somebody who is reporting. And interestingly enough, these are people who bring out information that we don't know. That some of us far off from the scene will come and tell us what it is. And that will help in building the peace. Because if they don't bring out some of the issues over there, you won't get to know how to define or design the peace processes that we are looking for. And if we now subject them to this inhumane treatment, in fact, it's brutish. It should not be part of our life.
It's unfortunate. I think this was carried out by the military, right? And that's part of the problem that we have. You know, the military's orientation, they are trained for combat. And so they are unable to deal with civilians when they come closer. That's why it is always advisable that the police leads. If the military will be introduced to do duties meant for the police, then they must have a unit that will begin to have that training just like the police. Because what you have done, to what benefit would it be to the armed forces and also society at large? Remember, they are being paid from our tax revenue. The military is serving, it's becoming one too many. The posture with them as though they have the right to be beating people around. No, it's not good. They have a lot of good minds, brains there that they has to go through that orientation. The Ghana Journalists Association must take it up and deal with it. And also, there has to be a collaborative work between your Journalists Association and the military. Because elsewhere, the military works closely with the journalists so that things that are for national security purposes, you don't even report. You hear U.S. When U.S. is going to bombard Iran, you check all their major news outlets. They all sing one song. That's from the national national security perspective. I don't think we have that system here, and that is where we must
operating
the standard operate exactly, so that we understand ourselves. So that when a journalist knows that here you are not supposed to say A, B, C, D, I don't think they will do otherwise. But you have not provided them with the training, but you expect them to be behaving in a certain way, and then more on top of it, humiliating them like this is not the best of situations.
In our early years, the military will undertake combative training for you. The BBC, for example, they have a formal combative training. So because they send their journalists to war-torn countries and all that.
You see, but Ghana Armed Forces is one of the agencies I admire a lot. I admire them, the discipline in it.
Because you are giddy.
No, I like them. I mean, in fact, it was one of my first point of call. In the 80s, I nearly joined there, and they were still young. Yes, I like them. The discipline in it, the professionalism in the armed forces. Just some few of people who try to create this bad name for them, and I know they will stand up to it. And then they make sure that they continue to have that respect that we accord them. I love them a lot. I mean, when they are out there and they are doing their work, internationally they have gotten a lot of awards for bravery and all that, Ghana Armed Forces. And we continue to give them that respect.
Well, we hope that we'll hear from the military, and then the Ghana General Association will be having a press conference today as well. They'll talk about this and a number of issues as well. And Mohammed Awal Osman says that he's also watching the wonderful show because of everybody's, including Solo from Germany. Obrimpong Kaba says that he's never missed the Wednesday edition of the show as well. And then Ruben is watching from Bunkrugu. Okay, Bliss says you're a legendary communicator. Okay, so, all right. If you want to look smart and fashionable, make sure you visit any Woodin boutique nationwide today. Woodin is offering an amazing collection of authentic African fabrics, all ready to wear, all coming in beautiful designs and colors for both men and women. Now with Woodin, you get to be creative and versatile with your designs. You also get to be confident and get to show off how truly African you are in Woodin. Go to a Woodin boutique near you today. Get to choose from their variety of trendy products to complement your unique style. And make sure you follow them on social media. A former Deputy Trade Minister, one time was a journalist, but became a Member of Parliament for Ifia Kwesi Mintim, subsequently now known as Kwesi Mintim, is celebrating the birthday. Happy birthday to you, the Honorable Joe Beduan. Wishing you all the best for the day. Philip Colley of Smart Shipping Company Limited, as well as Proselyte Group Limited, you're also celebrating your birthday. Happy birthday to you. But if you're ready to scratch, win, and live your dreams, then it means that Review, Scratch, and Win is here to change your life. And this is what they're telling you. You just have to dial *850 *3#, and you get to win amazing prizes. And remember, this also is regulated by the National Lottery Authority. So again, dial *850 *3#, or you can also visit their site. That is scratchforwin.com to play now. They say it's easy to play. So all you need to do is to make sure that when you dial, you're going to get a prompt, and you can do that on all network. And then you select your preferred stake. And so they have a number of categories there. You also get to choose your lucky card out of 5 existing options. You confirm your selection, and then you get to enter your Momo PIN. You receive the game result and wins instantly. It's easy, fun, and exciting. And so get ready to scratch, win, and then also get to live your best life with Review, Scratch for Win. Just from up to 1 million Ghana cedis, all up for grabs, just by dialing *850 *3#. That's a short code for you to play, okay? We're taking a break. We'll be right back.
The panic, but if you're
Masquerades are scary, but bills shouldn't scare you. Be one of 10,000 lucky winners when you deposit multiples of 400 Ghana cedis or take a loan in multiples of 4,000 Ghana cedis to win up to 1.5 million Ghana cedis in cash and prizes, 1-year insurance cover, and more. Tap into vibes in the EcoBank 5-Star Enjoyment Promo. Up to 15% discount when you use our cards and digital platforms. EcoBank, the Pan-African.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I look forward to that verdict, really.
It will be an interesting one.
And the details backing the verdict.
Yeah.
But beyond that, Women's Cup, right?
Yeah,
I love the women.
The WAFCON.
Yes.
That is the Women's Africa Cup.
Yes.
The Women's edition of the Africa Cup of Nations.
That's a very simple way of putting it.
Of course, simple way of putting it. So in about 50 days' time, we'll have that in Morocco. But this one is bigger than what we had in the last edition. Okay. Because this one will serve as a qualification for the Women's World Cup. Since 2007, Ghana has not been at the Women's World Cup.
That's how many years now?
I mean, that is a long time.
Years?
Over 20 years now.
Wow.
Ghana has not been at the World Cup. It's not good enough for us, for a country that prides itself as a football nation. So what we are going to do is that we need to ensure we qualify and be part of the top four. The top four African sides would qualify to the 2027 World Cup in Brazil. Last time we finished third, so if you're able to finish third again this time, we will make it into the Women's World Cup. And Akosua, who was in Morocco to witness the draw for that tournament, has put together this report.
Landmark 2026 edition will bring together 16 nations, among them host Morocco, reigning champions Nigeria, and strong contenders Zambia, South Africa, Ghana, Tanzania, Malawi, Algeria, Burkina Faso, Kenya, Cape Verde, Senegal, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Mali, and Egypt. The teams will compete across the Moulay El Hassam Stadium, Al Medina Stadium, Labi Zauli Stadium, and Fez Stadium, all vying only for the continental crown, but also for 4 coveted qualification spots at the 10th FIFA Women's World Cup set to take place in Brazil in 2027. Coach Kim Lasbiorkegrin and his squad, just 90 days after clinching their 4th Women's African Cup of Nations bronze medal in Morocco, set out on another mission: qualification for a pivotal continental tournament. Following a commanding performance against Egypt's Cleopatras, the Queens secured their place in yet another major competition.
In March, the Black Queens of Ghana returns to Morocco, who are hosting the Women's African Cup of Nations for the 3rd consecutive time. This time, they do not go to Ujda or Berkane like they did in the 2024 edition. They will be hosted in Fez as they play against tournament debutants Cape Verde, Mali, and Cameroon at the 35,000 capacity seater stadium that is right behind me. This stadium was the home grounds for the Super Eagles of Nigeria during the 2025 African Cup of Nations. The Black Queens will start off their journey here on the 18th of March, which is a Wednesday, against Cape Verde. They continue on 21st and then on the 24th. Coach Kim Lasbiorkegrin will be hoping that for the very first time in his coaching career, he makes it to a World Cup. The Black Queens will also be hoping that after missing out on several World Cups since 2007, they finally make themselves proud and make the nation also proud.
It's going to be a tough group for sure. I watched the Cameroon squad the other day, and I was a little bit surprised in one way. There were so many really good players in that squad. I knew a few about them before, but I also found out oh, she's from Cameroon. I didn't know. So it's an amazing squad. We played against Mali in the previous WAFCON, a draw, so we know that they are a good team. About Cape Verde, I need to figure out a little bit more, but the most common is that when it comes new teams into a tournament like this, they are normally pretty good. So no, I'm looking forward to play against them.
From the 17th of March to the 3rd of April, the journey to the World Cup 2027 will begin for the Black Queens, who have not been to the World Cup since 2007. One thing that the team will be hoping for is to make sure that this time around they make it to the continental showpiece here in Fez, where they will begin their journey. For 3 Sports, I am Akosua Eji.
Indeed, I'm looking forward to a very good game for the women. I think that at least if you're looking at the performance last year, they've really
finishing
proven that.
third with bronze.
Yes.
If they can replicate that, it's good enough, because this one even comes with an added price of qualifying for the World Cup, which we've not done since 2007. It was a Joa Bayo. I mean, it's a long time ago.
Many years ago.
Many years. So we need to get back.
For me, the way they've played over the last months, I'm very confident.
It gives us that iota of hope that they can go and qualify.
And
we
the
are
Black
rooting
Queens
for
don't
them.
disappoint. I always say
we are rooting
they
for
don't
them.
disappoint.
Definitely will be at 2027 Women's World Cup. It's in Brazil, South America for the first time, so we have to be there.
Yeah, we have to be there. UEFA champions, what's happening?
Yes, tonight they are completing the group phase. All 18 games will come off. We know that of Barcelona, Chelsea would all be in action. There's Ajax against Olympiacos, and Arsenal.
Number 2, take your time.
Will come up against Kiryat Almaty. Arsenal have already booked the place in the next phase of the competition. They have gone 7 games without a win, and they can make history by winning 8 games. I mean, it will be a wonderful achievement for them, because Arsenal...
But it's possible.
Yeah,
Again,
it's possible.
Looking like how consistent we've been over the last
with Kiryat Almaty and their status, I think that Arsenal will win. There's Athletic Bilbao against Sporting CP. Atletico Madrid will come up against Bodo Glimt. Then there's Barcelona against Copenhagen. Barcelona must win that game to secure an automatic spot. Leverkusen will come up against Villarreal. Then there's Benfica, who will take on Real Madrid. Club Brugge would face Marseille. Then Dortmund will come up against International Milan. And not bad, but it could have been better. Frankfurt also will come up against Tottenham Hotspur's Mohamed Kudus's team, and they would also be looking at qualifying. Liverpool will take on Karabakh, with Manchester City playing Galatasaray. Monaco would come off against Juventus, but one of the standout games for tonight is Napoli at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium. They are coming up against Chelsea. It's a must-win game for Napoli.
How is Chelsea doing? Because the last number of games, they were not doing so well.
They are faring well in the Champions League. Yes, in the Champions League, they look like one of the real deals. Napoli will need to win this game at all costs to ensure they are not eliminated. Any result apart from a win would mean Napoli exit. Then there's Pafos against Slavia Prague. PSG will take on Newcastle. PSG, remember, they are the current champions of the UEFA Champions League, but they are also looking at qualifying automatically. PSV will take on Bayern. Then there's Union Gilois, Saint Union Gilois, coming up against Atalanta. These are the games, but this is how the table looks like. Remember, the first 8 teams qualify automatically to the next stage, which Arsenal have already secured the place. Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspur, or in the PSG, Newcastle, Chelsea make up the top 8 at the moment. So these teams would seal an automatic qualification to the next phase. But the other teams that could also be engaged in the playoffs, as we know, because the likes of Barcelona would need to win tonight against Copenhagen to secure an automatic qualification. Sporting CP, Manchester City, Atletico Madrid, Atlanta, Inter Milan, or in the Juventus, Borussia Dortmund are 16th as well. We know that from 9th to 24th, these are the teams that will be engaged in the playoffs. So Olympiacos occupying that 24th position. But for the likes of Napoli, they would need a win tonight to ensure they don't exit the competition, because teams from 25th to 36th would not be involved in the competition again. They would go out automatically. Benfica and Jose Mourinho are out of the door. Napoli have a chance of qualifying if they should win against Chelsea. The likes of Slavia.
So even a win would help, right?
Yes, a win. No result apart from a win. Even if it's a 1-0 win, it would help them to qualify to the next stage. If not, they go out of the competition, because the likes of Kiryat are already have already exited the tournament.
The MTN FA Cup, Kotoko is showing up. I wish they were playing Hearts, because the last
Heart of Oak, unfortunately, are out of the competition. But in next 2 weeks, there's a big game in Kumasi. Kotoko will be playing Hearts in the Ghana Premier League. But the MTN FA Cup round of 16 draw came off yesterday. You know that Kotoko are the current champions, but they are not even going to have it easy in the round of 16. Guess what? They are playing one of the big boys in the Ghana Premier League, Aduana FC, at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. So it's not going to be an easy game for Kotoko. But these are the fixtures for the round of 16 of the MTN FA Cup. Dreams will take on Inter Allies with True Life, who actually kicked out Heart of Oak, coming up against Heart of Lions. 11 Wonders will play Atram Divise, with Mediema also coming up against FC Samatex.
Take your time.
Asante Kotoko. That's what you want to hear.
No, Samatex.
Samatex. I mean, I don't know. I don't
How
know
does
why
it look like?
You are in love with Samatex.
How does it look like?
They are the timber giants. I mean,
Mediama, does it look like we may beat them?
I mean, it's a Western derby, and I mean, Western derbies are not predictable. Anything at all can happen.
Okay.
These teams can beat each other or anytime.
Okay.
This season, I've seen Samatex go to Mediama's home and gotten a draw there. They drew 1-1, so it's possible for them to go and win. But Mediama would always be a difficult side for any team to beat. Then Kotoko will play Adriana as well. Tichiman Liberty Youth will face Royal Tamale United. And then we have Nations FC taking on Swedro All Blacks. And Brecum Chelsea would face Tamale City. These games are expected to be played on the weekend of 6th to 9th February.
You know, last week I was telling her that anytime Accra Hasofo gets scored, she just hides in her corner. And today we are talking about them being eliminated and she's not even
There was this funny day that they had, I think Kotoko had lost earlier and now they didn't know that Hasofo were playing. Just when now posted that phobia, then they conceded. Yeah, people were saying, have you checked the scoreline?
Yes, and then she said she didn't have data.
She didn't have data.
Well, thank you very much,
Welcome.
Mutara Yakubu, for bringing us the latest in sports. Well, are you looking for a university that will prepare your child for the future? Then Academic City University is the best choice for you. At Academic City, we do not just teach, we nurture creators, innovators, and leaders who shape tomorrow's world. We offer undergraduate programs in engineering, computational sciences, business and communication arts, and our BSc in artificial intelligence and robotics engineering are the first and only one of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa. With world-class facilities and industry-experienced faculty, students do not just learn the latest technology, they actually create it. And for working professionals and young graduates, we've got you covered as well with our MSc programs in cybersecurity and data science analytics, as well as our professional certificate programs. Remember that at Academic City, our programs are practical, relevant, and future-focused. You can call us now on 026-269-3870 or visit acity.edu.gh for more information. Admissions are open now. Academic City, make your mark. You're still here on Newday on TV3. When we come back, we'll bring you some more. Do stay with us.